Hello, everyone. It's Kenna with Captain Multiverse, also known as Joe, and Chris the Fourth. And it is episode 49 of Legion of Creators. And we have a lot of topics to discuss. Well, kind of. It's more of a short set of things, but we'll have a lot to say about them anyway.
Yeah.
We have some news. We have to talk about the Fallout finale. And also just some other things that we watched during the week, and we'll talk about that right after this long intro.
Legion of Creators.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
All right. How was everyone's week?
It was good.
It was good. That's good. How about you, Chris? Oh no.
He's muted.
Oh no, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now.
You were
Oh,
muted
good.
for a
Okay,
minute.
cool, sweet.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, my week's been good.
Oh, that's good. All right.
Welcome.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so Joe, so what's the news? What's the details?
So
What do you
yeah.
got?
So as we know, many people were disappointed with the lack of Marvel presence at the Super Bowl, and I actually did a statistic look into it. Every Super Bowl except for this year's, Marvel has had some sort of presence, all the way back to 2012, and this is the first year that I don't know if Disney's getting skimpy on the money or what's going on. I know they just did have a leadership shakeup, so that might be why. But overall, they chose to not promote Doomsday, and they did not ask promote Sony's permission to promote Spider-Man, which comes out in July. But thanks to a lot of big insiders and sources, we do have details that the trailer that's leaked online over the last couple of months, they even uploaded on Spotify, has now gotten a edited version and changed certain things to make it longer with new details. Like, we now know that there's new footage in it. So now they keep editing new versions of trailers, but the public still does not get to see it. But we do have a description of what it could look like if this is the one they choose to finally release. So in the description, we find out news that Peter will actually be getting proper organic webbing because he's going to be in a cocoon in some point during this movie, which is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder how he gets in that situation.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find out. We know that the trailer is gonna start with Punisher and Spider-Man interacting, and I guess when they shot the film, they showed the scene of Spider-Man on top of Punisher's truck. I guess Spider-Man is taking away Punisher's guns because he doesn't want Punisher to kill people, and so that's interesting. There's a montage of Spider-Man taking out multiple villains. We have obscure villains in this movie. I've heard that this film will feature up to 9 different Spider-Man villains, but you will have Spider-Man villains that are just kind of like in the Fantastic Four First Steps, where there's gonna be villains in this movie that just kind of appear for like 5 minutes, and then there's gonna be villains that are like more prominent in the movie.
So basically, like B and C tier, basically.
Yeah, so you're gonna get like a B and C team. You're gonna see like a montage similar to First Steps, where you're gonna see Spider-Man taking on a whole bunch of villains. It looks like there's gonna be something with the hand in this movie because it looks like Spider-Man's gonna fight them. The fight scenes are being compared to Shang-Chi's fight scenes, but with Spider-Man and Jackie Chan's stunt team, and even Jackie Chan was there himself, so that's pretty cool. So we're gonna see Spider-Man fight ninjas. Apparently, there's gonna be the villain from the comic called 8-Ball. And 8-Ball is basically like a villain that literally is like the 8-Ball in pool, and he's got even the pool cue as his weapon. And apparently, he was rumored to be played by Tom Holland's brother, which I think is kind of funny. So
Right.
so that's gonna be pretty fun. Little bit.
I I swear I've seen like 8-Ball in some like Spider-Man cartoons that I
Yeah,
watched.
it's an obscure one, but it
Yeah.
definitely is one that they're gonna use. And hey, welcome to
Hello,
Legion.
Dinger. Hello.
Yeah, welcome Legion. And then we also have like we know there's gonna be something going on with Sadie Sink playing some sort of villain. There's a lot of mystery around that. We know damage
Right.
control. It's revealed thanks to people that have watched Wonder Man that damage control is gonna be a much bigger presence in this movie, and they're gonna be going after. They started a whole thing going after powered characters, but apparently that actor they cast is now gonna be playing almost like the next generation Bulver Trask, but he's not gonna be Bulver Trask. He's gonna be the new leader of damage control, and he's gonna put a focus on going after mutants. So,
Oh.
which is
See,
interesting.
that's why I feel like Sadie Sink's most likely gonna be the new
Oh, it's
Jean
inevitable.
Grey.
Jean Grey, yeah. I think
inevitable.
I think
inevitable at this
that
point.
makes sense. I mean, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's inevitable at this point. It makes sense. So you got Spider-Man going up against these different villains. There's definitely gonna. There's apparently the 6'7" bandit himself.
Yeah, hello Underground.
Yeah.
6'7".
Apparently there's gonna be. I also heard that Tombstone has some dialogue in the trailer, and Tombstone is talking about the different generations of spiders and the connection with like the cocoon and everything. So I guess he knows them. And I think the biggest reveal we're gonna get in this trailer is we're gonna see Scorpion. Michael Mando himself is going to return. Ever since we saw him teased at the end of Homecoming, we're finally paying that off. And so he's said to have his iconic suit, but his suit is a combination of the classic Spider-Man, like when Scorpion debuted in the comics, and then Insomniac Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a combination of those two. It sounds promising. I'm glad we're finally getting Scorpion. I do think that Scorpion and Tombstone will be the villains that are featured the most in the story.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, sounds like.
And speaking of that, other than trailer details, we also have details of a rumor. Now, keep in mind, grain of salt, it's rumored. But like Nick Fury once said, there was an idea to bring a group of remarkable people together to see if they could become something more. And there was an idea that because the connection between Echo, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, all these different characters has been so vast.
Okay, yeah.
That they have talked about finishing. If those of us who are comic readers, the stuff that's happening in Daredevil right now with Fisk being mayor and Anti-Vigilante Task Force, this is something they did in the comics called Devil's Reign. And Devil's Reign is such a big storyline in the comics. Marvel is considering making the ending of this story not just an ending season of Daredevil, but making it into a movie. Because how do you squeeze Spider-Man into a Daredevil season? How do you get all these characters? You want to. It's a big enough thing that you want to do a movie. And I also found out, because I thought obviously the end all be all of it would be Fisk. But one of the cool things that they're setting up in between Born Again season 2 and season 3 is, if what I'm hearing from rumors are true, which is that both Fisk and Daredevil might be arrested at the end of season 2, for their role of vigilantism and all the different stuff that's happened. And Fisk being a terrible mayor.
Right.
They're starting to get the band back together, because if the rumors are true, this kind of goes into a little somewhat spoiler territory. If what my source told me is true, I'm told Luke Cage might be in this thing as well.
Oh, see, I mean, I'm totally expecting that they're gonna revamp the Defenders.
Now, it's not said right now whether I've got nothing on Iron Fist yet, but I'm starting to get suspicious that it is going to happen. And I don't know how big of a role Luke Cage would be. All I know is that Luke Cage might be the one, because if you guys finished Luke Cage before they canceled it, it ended with Luke Cage taking a whole different approach instead of being the hero.
Mob boss type of thing.
Yep. I think he's going to be the new mayor of New York while Fisk is in prison.
Oh, that would be really interesting.
So I think he's going to take it
Because what
over.
I was thinking is, like, if Daredevil's also getting arrested with Fisk in the finale, or somehow in the season 2 of Born Again, I see Jessica and Luke Cage teaming up to get Daredevil out of prison.
It could happen that way.
But if he ends up having a higher position of power, then he can just like take him out. No crazy prison break or anything. He can just take him out.
I think Matt will eventually find a way. Like, they're gonna do some team. They want to do a whole prison arc with Matt, just because they do this with superheroes all the time. They love to do the let's break these characters down, and then they want to do, because it's such a big show. I feel like they want to do the the Daredevil version of Prison Break, like the show, where like you're gonna have him interact with all his villains, and then
Yeah.
they're gonna have him. I think inevitably Fisk and him will have to team up to escape prison together, and then they'll split off afterwards
Oh yeah,
because
like
those two.
they
Yeah,
have to
I can
put their
see that.
differences aside to work together. Yeah,
But
I
all
would
this
like
is
that.
all this is building towards I think they're talking about making the Devil Reign end of storyline into a movie where, and from what I know of, this movie could include Echo, the Defenders, and Spider-Man all going up against. Now, at first I thought it was just going to be Fisk, but here's the other thing we learned at the end in details for season 3. Even though we haven't seen all of any part of season 2 yet, we know that season 2 opens if Fisk truly goes to prison. Apparently, New York's going to go into chaos because when Fisk is behind bars, apparently they're now casting for rival gang members. The Hand is coming back. Like they're saying they're saying season 3 is going to be like the power vacuum being filled. And one conversation that's being talked about is they do this Defenders movie, we'll call it, right? Devil's Reign Defenders, whatever they want to call it. I actually think that it could be actually Fisk and Tombstone teaming up. Because I think Tombstone is going to, in Spider-Man, well, he is going to be in Spider-Man and be a big deal. I don't think he'll just be defeated in this movie. I think they're going to keep him around for a while. And I think that he's going to be, maybe while Fisk is in prison, he's kind of starting his version of the mob boss role and really kind of building up different villains to work for him. And I think it's going to be really cool. I really do hope they make this movie. Because I think
I think that makes sense, yeah.
Because what happened with Defenders, like, I think it really sucks. I think Defenders as a show have potential for 8 episodes to be a really good show. But I think they need to do Defenders right, and they need to do it justice and give it kind of the MCU color of paint, like you had with Avengers.
I think obviously the only reason Defenders ended I didn't think it ended bad, but obviously we all thought Matt was dead. So until we saw the ending, you know what I mean? So that's why I think a lot of us were just like, we need a bit another one again just to see.
And I think a lot of people kind of feel like that Daredevil running in season 2 is already seeming like it's just the Defenders are coming back together, and that's the plot of the season, which could still happen.
I mean, right, but it's really they have the whole, it's very the whole Fisk, the very crime. Yeah,
we have more
it's a much more down to earth.
Yeah, we have much more vigilantes to deal with than stuff. We have Karen in there. Defenders deserve a focus where they're the focus, and so I think especially. And I think Defenders, a lot of people are just saying, oh, well, Defenders are Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and that's Defenders, right? But I think if you're going to do a movie, you can expand that.
Right,
and you can say, Defenders is Spider-Man, Luke Cage, and then you're right, Spider-Man, Spider-Man Echo, and then you also add people. Maybe we get, like, Colleen Wing coming back, since we're going to get Iron Fist. We can bring Colleen Wing back. We can bring Misty Knight back. I think we can make it a much bigger ensemble because if we're going after someone more than just Fisk, then we can make it really like an event. Like, oh, the Avengers was such big. I think we deserve kind of a street level.
Well, we're also going to get more White Tiger content.
Yeah, we're
right?
White Tiger.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, season 2. Yeah.
She should be in there too.
Because that was set up in season 1. Yeah.
We know she's going to fight in season 2 alongside Matt. So because season 2 is definitely going to be an all-out war. So I can definitely see that happening. I definitely see all of them coming together for that. And I think the Defenders movie, Punisher and everyone there, they got to do it because I think it's a great storyline to do, to adapt, do their spin on it. And depending on when they release this project, in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, this is a great opportunity because I know that they are saying that Punisher and Daredevil are going to finally get their hands in the multiverse pie once Secret Wars happens. So when they use that, I feel like until then we should get their side of what's going on like street level Earth, right?
Right.
If Spider-Man and all of them are fighting out there somewhere in space or whatever planet they're on, what's going on in modern day New York when Peter's out there dealing with Dr. Doom and whatever, like after Brand New Day, since Brand New Day and Daredevil are kind of connected, what is going to be happening with the rest of New York? Is Hell's Kitchen going to be, hey, honey, what's up?
Defender,
How come?
disassemble them. I honestly, I
Oh,
really
1
think even
second.
though Secret Wars is gonna be like a like after Secret Wars, like MCU is doing like a soft reboot with more of an X-Men focus. I
Go ahead.
really think
Yeah,
Defenders is gonna be
What do you
like
need?
the actual kind of first step
What
of
do
a
you need?
reboot where we get a more
Okay, honey.
focused teamed
yeah, and
besides the
ground level.
Avengers.
Because
Yeah.
we've had all the cosmic stuff already. So I think ground level, focusing on X-Men and just
Mm-hmm.
getting like the something like with the mutants because then we can expand on the mutants. So it's just kind of like I think the route they should go is the right route. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
smart. Yeah,
I mean, I
And
let's see
think
honestly,
we
how
there's
it
just
like
need.
goes.
Oh, go ahead, Ken.
oh, oh. I was just gonna say, and honestly, as much as there's so many Marvel Disney Plus TV shows, and some were really good, some were kind of meh. I really think
Yeah, yeah.
Daredevil is like really vital, like very important compared to everybody to all the other shows. Like obviously,
Oh yeah, 100%.
all the other shows are gonna come back, and they're all gonna be connected, no doubt about that. And like
Yeah, yeah.
they had important moments in them that we'll
Mm,
eventually, we'll get back to. But I
yeah,
think
Yeah.
right now Daredevil is really the one that's pushing the future of Marvel projects right now in the
yeah.
TV area.
Yeah, and it's also they're doing something now, which is kind of cool. Was even though Loki did his Loki season 1 and Loki season 2, Daredevil, Born Again season 1 and 2 are actually like they're actually connecting things. It's not just like, well, we know Loki connects the wider multiverse, but like
Yeah,
nothing at the end of Loki other than the fact that Loki had the has the big connection to
Oh, with the time stream
yeah,
holding
with the
the
time stream, like that's going to be
yeah.
set up with
yeah.
Doomsday and Secret Wars. But other than
Mm-hmm.
that, it's not moving the major Marvel narrative. But there's things in the
Right.
background of these street level projects that are very important. Like I suspect when you're watching Spider-Man, even if he doesn't appear, I do think we'll hear something in
Yeah,
Spider-Man
hundred
at some
percent. Yeah,
point
yeah.
during the movie
It's Spidey, man.
that
Mhm.
I don't
like
know.
I don't
Like,
think Spider-Man will fight them, but I can see a scene where Peter's kind of hiding around New York,
yeah,
and maybe when
yeah,
he's Spider-Man, he has to be careful because maybe you see scenes of like Fist's anti-task forces kind of spread out around
yeah,
New
yeah,
York,
yeah.
or even a television message. Maybe it's just old footage, old audio or something, but we'll see something or we'll hear something where someone says, "Yeah, Fisk is the mayor. No vigilantes in New York." Like I can see something like that happening.
Yeah, I think because I mean, like, without I mean, the street level stuff without they can't really do it without Spider Man because
Yeah,
that's the whole purpose. Like, the thing is with Spidey, he can kind of go cosmic and then he can go street level. But I think a lot of us prefer the street level stuff because
Mhm.
that's where he's most grounded. You know what I mean?
and
And
at
then
least
obviously
they're
we can
actually
kind of
allowing him to,
expand on there.
after the Iron Boy Jr. thing, at least they're allowing
Yeah,
him to be street level. Like, at least we
Mhm.
can
yeah,
actually
exactly. Yeah,
see
yeah,
that
yeah.
finally. Like, I'm happy
That's
to
what I'm
hear that.
saying.
Like, I don't know how this freaking cocoon thing happens in this Spider Man trailer, but I'm happy that, like, we heard that Spider Man's suit, when they did that suit reveal when they were filming the movie, that he's got the raised webbing on his suit, like Toby.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Oh
so they're
yeah.
going to give him a good Spider Man suit, but he had a good Spider Man suit at the end of No Way Home. So, like, how
Mm,
far are we taking this? This movie has Hulk. We know of it already. So how much street level can we get if Hulk is involved? Right? Like we
yeah.
have Punisher running through the street. That's fine. I can be down with that. But if this is street level, how much is it gonna be street level if eventually we're gonna have a Hulk rampaging through New York
Yeah, and
doing
also as well, like when I think when the Marvel stuff was on Netflix, like I actually put it started off street level anyway. So when I think when they went to Disney with all that, they tried to do cosmic show, then a street level here and there. It didn't really have no control or premise of what was going on. So that's why a lot of us just feel a lot of the shows didn't work. That's why
And
we were
that's
just
why I
like,
think
no, this don't
that's
work.
why I think
Mhm.
people can say what
So
they want about the creative vision of all the mixed steps in Daredevil season 1 because they had a
mm,
lot of the writing changes between one writer was trying to do this, then that writer got
yeah,
fired, but too much of his work was finished and they didn't put
mm,
it on the chopping block. Then the new guys come in and the new guys are like, "Don't worry, guys, we're gonna salvage these final 2 episodes, we promise." Like they
yeah,
didn't let us come in until now, but now we know season 2 the guys that did the last 2 episodes get the whole season. So
the whole
now we can
season,
see.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
now we can. And also, I found out recently through like when they released the trailer that they announced that Vince D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox are now producers on the show. So
Mm.
yeah,
so they got to sit in the room, and when these new writers were here, they can kind of go, "No, we're not doing that. These are our
Mhm.
characters. We're not going to sit here and allow you to
yeah. No,
ruin
for
what we
real,
did."
I don't blame them because look what's happened in the last 5 years of Marvel.
Yeah, Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
I'm glad that they're taking control. I think we've gotten to the point where, like, for a long time, we trust writers and we trust in entertainment industry.
yeah.
We trust directors, and other directors I love for movies.
No,
Like, don't get
I
me
think
wrong,
it's more
and TV
so. You
shows.
know what it is? It's more so. Yeah, the writers, directors, but I think it's the people at the top that didn't trust the writers or
Yeah,
the
I
directors.
think when you
That's the
play
Right.
these
problem.
characters for a long period of time, I think like people like I think Hugh Jackman Wolverine, I think Robert Downey Jr., I think Chris Evans, I think
Mm.
I think even like Daredevil and Kingpin, I think John Bernthal as Punisher. I think all those people, they've been around long enough as these characters that they should have the right to say, okay, you're gonna do this with my character. I don't like that. Throw that
Yeah,
Right.
away. That should not
Mhm.
happen. Like, because I think they even know what the fans want. They have their own ideas, like being actors, but they also know what the fans want to see. So,
Well, they're
um,
also fans themselves as well. So.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And the last thing
Mhm.
I had on the Marvel bracket before we move into our next topic is
Mhm.
even though it did not have a presence at the Super Bowl, we got some new updates on Spider-Man Noir. I guess some new stills came out. And
Oh yeah,
apparently
yeah, yeah.
apparently we have a new okay, we'll get that question in a minute, Luke. But also
Don't let him
apparently,
say it.
yeah, but also apparently there was they revealed a villain that's going to be in the show. Apparently they cast Sandman for the show
Okay,
recently.
that's
So
cool.
so
Okay,
so
Ooh,
Sam so to see
Sandman.
Sandman in the
okay,
Spider-Man Noir show. So and
that's
I guess
good.
they're
Wait,
saying
is it
there's
a
going to be
movie or is it a show?
it's a show on
Series.
Prime.
It's a mini series, ain't it?
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a movie. It's a
So
mini
it's a
Nah,
series.
show.
it's a mini series.
So it's the
Okay,
team
that's
that
cool.
did the Spider-Verse movie.
Well,
They
yeah.
brought Nicolas Cage over to live action to
I know.
do, and so what happened is Sony. Funny enough, when Craven came out and Madam Web happened, and Sony like just can't
Of
do live
course.
action, whatever. They were in
Uh,
such
Them
hot water,
films.
and then
My
Phil and Chris
gosh.
Miller came to them
I
like,
see.
"Look, I know you kind of closed the book on the live action stuff, but you love what we did with Spider-Verse, right? So
Mhm.
if we give you something really good, could you please give us some leniency and like let us like make something like let us cook for you for a little bit?" And like
Mm.
I guess they're committed to one more live action project
Yeah,
until after this live action project. Then they're just supposed to be the Sony promotion board now, where like we're still gonna own the rights to the characters, but we're gonna let Marvel cook, and we're just kind of gonna sit here and collect the money
they need to
because
give them right
we,
stop, man. I'm
yeah,
sorry, it's
I
they
know.
annoying.
should just give the whole rights back. But what
Old
I heard is
rights.
now happening is now they're being more lenient. So now what they've decided to do is now what they've decided to do is literally they not only being more lenient, they've decided, hey, we need to allow this to happen. Like we need to allow you. You want any villain you want. You want to reboot Venom because Mr. Kevin Feige didn't like Tom Hardy for whatever reason and didn't like our Venom films. Fine. You want these characters. You want to be able to use these versions. You want your version of Craven since ours tanked. We're gonna let you do that. So
Mhm.
now they're saying we fucked up. We won't get to see Bad Bunny as El Diablo, unfortunately, or whoever the
Yeah,
villain he was
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Although, funny enough, he's supposed to cameo in Spider-Man. Somehow they made that work. Somehow they're like,
Mm.
okay,
Well,
Mr.
if they are doing the fast montages of villains getting, beaten up just like how they did in Fantastic Four, that's where I see it happening.
That's
Also, Dinger,
crazy
you're
though.
getting
Bad.
banned.
How
You're
bad
getting
does it
banned.
feel to be Bad Bunny to be punched out by Brad Pitt in Bullet Train, and now to be and now to be punched out by Spider-Man? That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
Yeah.
But no, that's pretty cool. I mean, I would like to see. I personally, I know we didn't see what that movie was going to be, but I would like to see more from that character. If it's a fun cameo, it'd be nice
Yeah.
down the line. If this Spider-Man movie starts a new trilogy, I'd like to see more. I don't need him to get his own film, and then we need to be done with the Spider-Man villains getting their own movies. But I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that
mind
has to be
seeing,
done. Has
yeah.
to be done.
But I wouldn't mind seeing them appear as other side villains in later Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, yeah, hundred
I think
percent.
that I
That's
think
the
that would be
thing, man.
fun.
Just to touch on the Sony stuff, I think
Yeah,
like there was at the start of it with Venom 1, there was like a vision, there was a direction. But I think by the time Venom 2 came out and then Madam Web, all the create no, so yeah, Morbius, all of that, it's just like what was the point of having this? And then you're gonna tease it how with Spider-Man's here, but he's not here, and
uh,
And then Underground said he'd like to see Rhino in live action.
Oh yeah,
When we
Rhino
do
would be
something.
good.
Yeah, definitely Rhino. Yeah. We've only
And
seen him like
also,
once in Amazing too.
yeah, Rhino, Doc Ock again. I mean, we already seen him technically, but like, we're getting new faces, new people for these
Yeah,
characters.
I
Or
think
I
even
wouldn't
just like
mind
eventually
8
seeing
we're
that.
Ball. Or like 8 Ball, for
Oh,
example. Get more obscure
I
Spider-Man
think
villains
yeah.
for
eventually we're gonna
fun.
see another villain I heard that was obscure that I didn't know too much about that I was surprised to see, and hopefully this ends up being true on the 9 villain list of who could appear in this montage. I heard we might see Jackal, which I was like, oh, that's kind of
Jackal.
Ooh.
interesting. So that means Spider-Man
Okay.
will fight creatures, not just like average crime
Yeah.
bosses, which I'm
Average
kind of
crime
down
fighters,
with.
yeah.
Because I think after we do street level, especially since we're going to talk about the rival stuff later, I really do want to see Marvel go back after World by Night. I would like to go back into the supernatural side of Marvel again, but
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get there until after Secret Wars. But
Yeah.
I hope we do go back there. Like I hope we do see Midnight Suns. I hope we do see more focus on World by Night, Moon Knight, also Bloodstone, all these other
Yeah.
characters.
They say they're still working on the Midnight Suns movie or something like that. They're still working on it or something.
Yeah, they're still working
Yeah,
on
because
this.
the
They gotta,
Blade movie got canceled, but Blade is gonna be in Midnight Suns
yeah,
instead.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with
we're
that.
just gonna have like a 60-year-old 60 year
Wesley
old
Snipes,
Blade leading the
yeah, Blade or
Avengers.
something, yeah, like
We're gonna get Lethal
shit.
Weapon. We're gonna get Lethal Weapon with the Midnight Suns. I'm too
Yeah,
old for
for
this
real.
fucking shit. What is going on here? I'm kind of down with it. I don't know. I kind of like Blade being an older. I know people criticize it, but dude, Wesley Snipes is like fucking. What is he like in his late 60s, 70s, and he's still kicking the crap out of people in Deadpool and Wolverine. He'll probably be in Secret
Yeah. He
Wars.
still did his thing.
So if he can still do his thing, I don't know why Mahershala Ali couldn't pull it off as an older Blade. Yeah, we're not getting the Blade movie that sucks. We all wanted the Blade movie, but I don't know. I'd be down for Midnight Suns if it's a good
Yeah,
story.
I hope after this soft reboot that they do actually they can do the X-Men and mutant stuff. That's fine, but we do need to. I hope they keep Blade and actually bring him back, do a film properly. I hope they do
Right.
that.
Eventually,
When
even
they're
if they
more
have to
prepared.
recast it, even if they have to make a younger actor, like pull a
Yeah,
younger actor from the time screen,
that's fine.
I think they owe us a new Blade movie. Like the Wesley Snipes Blade movies were so good, and they introduced us to a time of Marvel where Marvel was just not. They weren't as popular as they are today. But when Marvel first started out, that was the shit. Like that was some cool
Yeah,
shit.
literally.
And you could do something like that. I think that'd be really cool. So I see Luke's got some Star Wars shit.
Yeah,
Forget
so
it.
that's why I said earlier that he's getting banned because he asked a question that I told him not to ask.
Oh, is he not allowed to ask that question?
He's not allowed to ask this question, and also he's like, why is Darth Maul red and his brother yellow, but the girl in Jedi Survivor blue? First of all, the girl is Marin in Jedi Survivor. Second of all, she's not blue, she's gray. Night
And
Sisters
also-
are gray.
Also, second thing that Luke needs to be aware of, and I'm sure Chris can back us up on this one because he's also seen Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens is Dathomir is a huge planet. Men and women on Dathomir do not look the same because
they
all
don't.
women on Dathomir are all women on
He
Dathomir.
knows. He's just making a joke.
All women on Dathomir are meant to be like Kenna says, like gray, because they're witches. They're part of all women on Dathomir
Night
are
Sisters.
basically Night Sisters, and then all the men are Night Brothers. So if you play Jedi Fallen Order, you'll notice that almost all the Zebraks, I believe is what they're called, Darth Maul species, are almost all yellow except for Maul.
Yeah.
And there's a few others I've seen. I think there might
I'm
be a
trying to
couple
remember
that are
because I
red.
played the games recently. I swear some of them were red.
There might be others that are red, but Maul was like the
There might
biggest
be.
example of one being red. Like
Yeah.
I remember
I think-
looking back at
Because
Clone
he's the
Wars,
main character.
Yeah,
He's so
the
special.
men like I don't remember the men. Yeah, because not a lot of the men were red. They were like
most of them are
Green,
like yellow,
yellow.
green,
Yeah.
red, yeah, something
Green,
like that.
yellow.
I think there
yeah.
were a couple that were red, but it was very much like Maul seemed like he was kind of the last of a dying breed, I guess. And then they had more because when they took Maul,
Well,
we didn't know
obviously,
about.
in Fallen Order, when Cal you meet Marin, she's the last of she's essentially the last of her kind too, as well. That's kind of going on because
Oh yeah, true.
she's living. I mean, there's Night Brothers that you face there, but she's like the last Night Sister. Well,
Yeah.
that she knows of, because we know there's other Night Sisters in the Ahsoka show.
Why is
But,
Maul Rev?
Why? Wait.
His
What
wording
is?
doesn't make sense.
Why is Maul red then? Because he's the main character. All right. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta
Anyway.
just
Speaking of
accept
Star
it.
Wars, that Mando and Grogu trailer, huh?
Okay, let's
Didn't
get
that
in.
get
Let's
you
in.
guys
Okay.
Yeah,
hyped
let's talk
up?
about that because I kind of missed over that in the Super Bowl. I can't lie. I saw like the first 30 seconds. I was like, I can't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
It's
They're making
shit
this out to be
marketing,
like a
man.
joke,
Like
really.
they said, look, I love Samuel L. as much as the next guy, but and I know we love that Mando is this space western thing, but
Mhm.
Mm,
it just feels like the beer commercial like avenue for this. It's like, oh, it's a parody of the other Super Bowl ads. So we're a Super Bowl ad, and like, but these ads are meant for the general audience to get them to sit their ass in the theater and watch a movie, right? If you're not a Star Wars fan and you're a general audience member, this ad tells you nothing about this movie. It's like, hey, I'm Mando and I'm Grogu, and we're gonna
Well,
take
isn't
tauntauns
the
across
ad? It's
Hoth.
just them. They're riding in a cart in a snowy planet. I will say, even though it was really a nothing burger of a trailer, the only like optimistic look that I can think of about that little sneak peek that I can think of is like you said, the space western. I think I was missing that feeling in season 3 of Mando, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping that the movie will bring that space western feel back in the film.
Yeah,
yeah.
the only thing that sucks about that is ever since Boba, when they chose to put Grogu back with Mando,
Hmm.
we're not gonna get the space western that we want.
Well,
Uh
I think there's still the possibility. I mean, obviously, they're in, from the previous trailer, we see him in like some space. Like, here's the thing: it's Star Wars. There's gonna be Star
right,
Wars things in it. There's gonna be
right.
spaceships. There's gonna be
And
blah blah
and that's
blah.
true.
But
I just want that season 1 vibe back, and I don't
right.
think we're ever gonna get that back because the fact that
I
they
think
made Mando
maybe
being.
not fully, but I definitely do think we'll get some moments in the movie where we
I
will.
just hope there's moments where he can put
Mm,
Grogu down and tell people he's gonna bring them in warm or he's gonna bring them in cold. Like I want
Right,
that Mando back.
more
Like
toughen up
can
yeah.
like
Mando.
Grogu, can you go do your thing over here and let me just fight these people in the bar, please? Like
Yeah.
Right, I
go
think
go eat
what
your
again,
snacks.
I've said this before when we talked about Mando and Grogu about how I like their father and son relationship that they have, but I like it when it's more subtle and not just like in your face about it.
Yeah.
Like I think it's in a writing sense, it is smart that Grogu is the one thing that softens him up. Like he's only
Yeah.
soft towards Grogu, but also with that being said, he should still have, his demeanor, the way that we first saw him in his
Yep.
introduction when he's not with Grogu or when he's in a tense situation
I just
protecting
noticed
Grogu.
in I just noticed in season 3 that when Grogu was with him, he pulled back, and even with the scenes with Bo and stuff,
Mm.
he's been a lot more soft, and not
Right,
just
but
with
I also
Grogu.
think when it comes to Bo, he's like, okay, I can trust you. Like we're both the
Yeah,
Mandalorians. We're on the same page in a
that's
way.
true.
So,
Yeah,
but I think right again, but like when it comes to strangers or when he's doing a job, yeah, he should have his tough Mando act up for sure.
I would
I
Yeah.
do
just
Of
like
agree.
it
course.
if
Of
like
course.
maybe they wrote something where like, hey, Grogu, I love you, but Daddy needs to go over here and beat the
Mm,
crap out of these stupid aliens because because
right.
because because they're pissing
Yeah.
him off. Like I want that
Mm-hmm.
Mando. I want us to get back
Yeah.
to Mandalorians are supposed to be a badass breed of warrior, and I think in season 1 they built Din to be one of the like he's not Boba Fett, but like since Disney ruined Boba Fett, but before they ruined Boba Fett, when they were
Mm,
introducing, before I knew Boba Fett was coming back, this was like
Mm,
the closest we got to like the Jango Fett PS2 video games, where you're getting like a bounty hunter that's going to be here, disintegrating people, collecting them, taking the money, turning in the bounty to whoever they want, and then walking away and going over
yeah.
to the next job. And
right,
if that
especially
movie,
since like if he is raising and he's taking care of Grogu, he needs to make money, you know?
yeah.
Oh, of course.
So I just want to go back to that feeling of like, go back to being a bounty hunter, doing jobs,
Hmm.
and completing that. I think that's what would be great. But yeah, in general on this TV spot, I just feel like for
It
me,
was a very
this,
lackluster one,
it's
yeah.
lackluster. This just ain't it, bro. It ain't it. It ain't like for crying out loud. They couldn't have put Embo in the fucking thing and just at least show us like Mando fight with Embo for like 5 seconds or something. Like Give us something, man.
Or like, yeah, a little taste of action rather than
Yeah.
just like writing.
Like, give us
part-
Yeah.
something
I
a little
mean,
bit like I want to be
I mean,
excited for this movie. I really do. And I can be a little more critical. I'm not wearing a Grogu hoodie today. I got my
All right,
yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
I
Punisher.
got my Punisher hoodie on today, so you can't
yeah.
say nothing to me. I'll be critical all I want because
You
I'm
still
not
own it
wearing
though.
that
It's in your
hoodie.
closet. I know that it's in there.
Yeah.
It's still
I
in
mean,
there.
my
It was
thing is with Mando and
disintegrated
Grogu,
long
yeah,
ago.
is like I don't know. The thing is like when I saw the other two trailers, I thought, okay, this looks okay. It might be a
Mhm.
cool watch. I think as long as they can make it better than what season 3 was, I'm cool, really and truly.
Right.
I'm okay with it. But this little like 30-second teaser, I was just like, what the hell is this? Like what like like you know the ones that, like bro, I was like, can we just get back to the game? Like please, because at this point I was already annoyed at that point. So I said, I don't want to see any other trailer. The only trailer I was looking forward to is the Super Mario one. That was cool.
That was
Like
fun.
and other stuff was okay, but that Mando one was the worst one because it's just like, what? This is not a joke time for. This shouldn't really be a jokey time for him, especially
We don't
like
have time to make. We
after
shouldn't be
season. That there's
making
not the
marketing
time. There's still
jokes.
stuff going on. You know
Mhm.
what I
Yeah,
mean? And
that's the
then
thing that's
obviously like
frustrating.
the one thing as well is like because what's his name he passed away I don't know Carl, is it
Oh,
Carl Webb?
Carl Weathers? Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously that's gonna hold weight as well because he was a big deal in the show as well. So now they've got an extra bit where it's like, okay, so now what do we do? Who could not so much replace him, but kind of could somebody just at least fill that little bit of the void at least, yeah. So but once
Man,
I
it
saw that this
sucks too. I was
30-second thing,
watching it sucks. I realized people have been reposting the first trailer for Mando when season 1 came out. And
yeah,
man, you look at that first trailer and you look at what Mando and Grogu, like look at what you've become basically. And like
Mhm.
the thing that I love is I love that
yeah,
first teaser. And even in the show, man, it sucks that Carl Weathers had to pass away because I would love to still have him in the show. I love the scene in season 1 where the
yeah.
way he talks to Mando, like Mando, they all hate you, Mando.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Like,
Just
no,
that demeanor,
no.
like
So that's kind of the vibe we're on in it. And then obviously, I don't know if we're gonna see. I don't know if we're gonna see Bo and the rest of the creed.
yeah, right.
Like, it's one of those ones as well. So we don't even know like what type of premise this movie could be on because it could be a thing where
All
it's
we know
like
about is
Well,
his
if
and
they don't
also,
have it,
isn't
superhero.
there going
it's
to be
gonna
a
be good.
trilogy now? Like, it's not going to be the only Mando movie, I
They're
think.
talking
Ah,
There's
about
going to
it.
be two others.
I personally think that's gonna be a bad. I think they should just take one and leave it there.
Well,
Right.
they
Honestly,
got to see how
Especially
that
this
since
they,
movie.
it's Mando 1, and then we're going to get Starfighter whenever that finally comes out.
yeah.
It'll
And
come out the
then
next
two
year.
other Mando movies, and then that Rey Skywalker movie. Like, it's really weird for Star Wars right now when it comes to the theater.
Well,
I
we'll
Yeah,
think
wait
are
till we
they
TV
see
still
how this.
doing
shows.
that Ray movie?
I think so because they're already in it, you know. I don't think unless it does get canceled, which I kind of doubt, I think
Yeah,
they're
my,
still
my,
going to
my
do
hope
it.
was that Filoni was gonna just cap a bunch of things off,
Yeah,
but
cancel
but
it, cancel
but
it,
but I think what's gonna happen,
please.
unfortunately, is I think Kathleen was smart, and I think that she put contingencies in
Mhm.
her like when she was leaving. I think she probably has. I read it somewhere. There's probably something in the contract when she left that when they passed over the mantle, I feel like
Yeah,
Dave has to honor some of the things. So we're not answering that comment. That's
that's
You're
not gonna happen.
huge.
yabbling,
No,
Dinger.
But so like I feel like we're gonna have to sit through some shitty times for a minute because we gotta fucking get this stupid shit out.
Well, again, like I
But
was saying earlier, it's like I think it's just a weird like Star Wars is in a weird spot when it comes to their movies, but like, you know,
I
we're getting a
mean,
TV show with Maul,
but
that should be
but I'll
good,
be honest. I'll
and
be
we're
yeah,
honest.
getting
I'll
more
be honest. With you,
games.
I'm glad you brought this up. If the games are stellar and if
Mhm.
Maul fucking slaps,
Mhm.
I can sit through some slog for a little bit. If
Mhm.
Maul and
yeah.
if
If
they
Moore's
cook
good
on this old if they cook on this old Republic game, if they absolutely cook
and
with Old Republic with
Jedi Fallen
Maul,
Order
all this
3,
shit,
yeah, yeah,
In the pod racing game.
I can chill out for a little bit. And
yeah.
if
We can.
when eventually Ahsoka season 2 comes out, and if they let
Mm,
Filoni do his thing, and Disney doesn't tie his hands or do anything like Kathleen was tying his hands, I want to see him just make a good Ahsoka season 2. Like there's still projects I believe that can be good. I still
Mhm.
do think I think Starfighter has potential. I am excited for Ahsoka season 2 because I want to see what he does with Balin Skull. I think they got the right actor to replace
Yeah, they got the
Balin.
right replacement. Yeah, yeah,
I think they're gonna cook. I think they're gonna do some awesome
yeah. I
stuff,
think,
and I think
yeah.
it'd be awesome.
I just think my thing is with the Ray. Okay, let's say if this Ray movie is good, I think they should just end it with one film and let, like, I don't know, let us conclude with, like, in our heads, like, what goes on with Ray. That's my thing.
Right.
To be
Because
honest, if he does
like how Joey was saying about like if all the other things are really good, then willing to like just sit through kind of the slop or like the meh kind of Star Wars
yeah,
projects. Because even though it's good that we're getting a new CEO of Disney, Kathleen Kennedy is not the head of Star Wars anymore, it's Dave Filoni now. And obviously Jon Favreau's gonna stay because John and Dave are friends.
yeah,
Um I think though, just because we're getting finally new management does not mean it's gonna be an automatic
it's
like
not gonna be perfect.
Nah, nah, it's gonna take some time.
makeover.
It's gonna take some
So
time.
so like it's like even if we still get the Ray movie and it's not that good, same thing with the Mando movie once that finally comes out in May and it's not that good. I don't think that necessarily means that it's the end of Star Wars or Dave Filoni
Right.
can't handle
Yeah.
being the lead in Star Wars because because that those things have been planned for a while now.
Yeah.
So we just got to push through it,
Right.
and then we can finally start seeing the
And something I
more
also thought
better
about too is
projects.
so let's say the Raid movie is schlock. Let's say even though Filoni said he had to make it from Kathleen's like contingency, what if Dave tries his best to like fix it up a little bit and he
Hmm.
puts
Yeah,
something in there
Right,
to
because what
almost
if it
kind of
is good? What if
yeah,
the
it could
Ray
be
movie
decent,
is good?
whatever. It could be
yeah.
decent,
That's what
and
I'm
then
thinking.
and then even if say the Raid movie is bad, like just for the sake we have to suffer through it, it happens, whatever, right? But I just
Hmm.
heard recent report that because Filoni's now taking the seat of the throne of being in charge of everything, that he's
Yeah.
putting his Mando verse Avengers movie on the back burner for a minute. And maybe the reason
Okay.
he's putting it on the back burner for a minute is he wants to make sure that all the shit gets fixed so that when he's ready, when Star Wars is in a state where they're ready for a banger, maybe what he wants to do is, okay, we're gonna get people's attention with Maul. We're gonna get people's attention with the games. We're gonna suffer through this shit. Mando and Grogu might be it might be whatever, chill, whatever. And then
Hmm.
Ray might suck, whatever. Starfighter's okay. It's pretty decent, cool. But then they're like,
Yeah.
they're ready. They're like, okay, our fans are coming back. Maul was good enough, and the games were good enough that the true fans they're ready to have their socks knocked off. And so then he gets with Favreau, and he says, hey, let's it so let's get this right, like we know Thrawn's are a big bad. Let me fix up Thrawn in season 2 since Kathleen ruined him, and then give me a chance in season 2 to really build up the Mando movie, not Mando, well, Mandoverse movie, which should be Heir to the Empire from what I've heard from most people, unless he's changed
Yeah.
it. And if it's Heir to the Empire, the reason they call it the Avengers movie is it's supposed to be a storyline with Thrawn going up against all our heroes that were established through our shows, right? So you're gonna get Bo, you're gonna get Boba, you're gonna get Mando, you're gonna get Ahsoka, you're gonna get Ezra, you're gonna get some version of Luke, whether they get a new actor or they're gonna have to do
Yeah.
some.
I say
I hope it's
I
an
still
actor
think
over a
they
deep
could
fake,
get
but yeah. If you've read
Sebastian
Heir to the
Stan.
Empire, there's no way they can't do it without Luke. So they're gonna have to do something with Luke to be able to make it work.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a dragon in Star Wars? There has to. Yeah. So there's a crate
Uh
dragon. In Mando, they talk about the crate dragon a long time ago.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so it has existed.
Old Republic era, I
We get a
think.
Game of Thrones, Star Wars
And also
show.
another thing you got to remember, is Mando's crest, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
the Mythosaur. It's
Mhm.
more of a dinosaur than a dragon, but that's supposed to be the legendary creature that I think it was. Was it season 2? Was it no? Not season 1. What season was it that he had to go and defeat? They said he was. Oh yeah, it hasn't happened yet. Wasn't there some prophecy that in order to rule Mandalore, that one of the Mandalorians had to like ride some mythical creature?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that hasn't happened yet. So
That could happen in the
Mm.
movie.
yeah, maybe they're finally gonna ride the Mythosaur.
Right. Yeah. Because he defeated in season 1. He defeated another creature
It
that
was the
like
Mudhorn in season 1.
it was the Mudhorn in season 1. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that'd be
Yeah, I
interesting.
started I
mean,
see. You got
I
dragons
really
on the
just,
mind.
I think the thing with Mando and Grogu, like, I want to wait for the movie, but
Mm.
hopefully when we get close to release, I just want a good trailer to, yeah, it's in the Dune Sea, Luke. There, we just need a trailer to kind of sell us on what this movie is, right? Like, if we're gonna
Right.
make this, if this is a marketing push to sell more Grogu toys, and that's what Bob Iger wanted to make money for the Disney brand, fine. But show us at least we're gonna get some cool stuff in here. Like if it's gonna be a Western movie, we know we're gonna have what's her face? The science fiction actress. I can remember Sigourney Weaver. We know Sigourney Weaver is in here as some character alongside the Mando crew. I hope they don't do the thing that they did with Mando season 1 and I guess a little bit of season 3 where they have like just famous people being little cameos. Hopefully she actually has a
Yeah,
meaningful
nah. I hope
role.
they don't do that
Yeah,
either, man.
yeah.
No.
But I've heard rumors that even Filoni was supposed to voice the live action version of Embo because apparently we're supposed to tie what's it called we're supposed to have Din is supposed to go and help out um Jabba's son, played by what's the actor's name from the Bear? Jer- Jeremy
Oh,
something.
Jeremy White,
Yeah,
Jeremy Allen,
Jeremy Allen, right? So supposed to
Jeremy
help him
White
out.
Allen.
Right.
That's his
Weird
name.
name. So we're supposed to help him out, which is kind of seems like a rehash of the Clone Wars movie, but I guess now Rhoda, I believe his name is. Rhoda's older now and just kind of buff, like jacked gladiator hut that's in the ring. So we'll see what happens. But but that'll be interesting. But I've heard rumors that I guess what's his name? I guess Embo might be hunting Din, maybe because someone else is after Rhoda for whatever reason. Maybe it's kind of the crime families are we're getting more of that underworld side, and maybe the underworld are kind of going at war with each other because maybe one person wants Rhoda for a different reason, and the other
Yeah.
person wants it. Is what I can see happening. But if we see Embo, I think it'll just be cool to see Din have a conflict between another. Because one thing I want in a Star Wars film, if we're not getting Sith, we're not getting Jedi, which I don't think we are. One thing we need
Yeah.
to see is I don't just want random stormtroopers or Tusken Raiders or other like I want to see other factions and other enemies rise up against our bounty hunters in the Star Wars movies that we can
Yeah.
still look at it and go, this is different. This is cool.
Yeah.
Like Clone Wars did that very well, where there's those little episodes where different arcs happen. You're like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like there was episodes where Embo would go after Maul and Savage when they were trying to take over Mandalore.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this
For
bounty
real. I
hunter that was
think.
hired, he was hired to protect the Black
Yeah.
Sun. So like using
Yeah.
more bounty hunter stuff and other bounty
Yeah.
hunters, someone's hired for a job. Not all bounty hunters are always on the same side. So
Mm-hmm.
it'd be kind of cool to be like, hey, Embo was paid to go do this thing. Dan, you're kind of the softy now. You're paid to go do this thing. You're working for the good guys. Well, I'm Embo. I'm big bad. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to follow your rules. I'm going to disintegrate people left and right and do my thing. And I
Yeah,
hope.
because that's the thing. I think with Star Wars, man, they have to focus on like other factions because,
Yep.
like, I hate to say it, but like for the people that like myself that like a bit of everything, we need to see difference. We need to see a
I'm
different
just
faction.
sick
We
of
need
the
to see different
Empire,
stuff.
bro. I
So
don't
you
want to
know,
see the next First Order. I don't want to see the Empire again. I want new
yeah, I
things.
don't think. I think the only way I want to see an Empire is if it's in the Old Republic. That's when I
Yeah, if
want
you
to
do
see
Old
the
Republic,
Galactic.
or like if you
You
do
know what I
like,
mean?
or
So
like we're still doing leftover things like with Maul, we're gonna see Maul cut down some troopers still. I mean,
yeah,
that's fine, because that we're still in that era. But when we move forward, I don't want to get to the Rey movie and see the next Phase 10 Stormtrooper.
yeah, for real. I
Right,
think
yeah,
they
no,
should
we
just
need a
make
whole
one
new
movie
big
and leave
bad.
it there.
Just
I would
make
prefer if Rey, she didn't have to. There was like if there's a villain in Rey's movie, it's not the Order still. It's more of like maybe there's one, I don't know, dark side user out there
well. What
and they're
I'm really
trying to get
hoping they
down Rey and
do.
it's a 1v1 battle. It's nothing super crazy. It's not like he's trying to bring like the whatever villain, not like they're trying to bring back the First
Yeah.
Order. They just have some vendetta against Rey for
Well,
some
when the Rey
reason.
movie was happening, what I'm really hoping they do, and I don't know if they'll change this from what they were doing, they were looking for a high-profile actor at one point because they wanted a big villain for the Rey movie to get people's attention. And
Yeah.
what I would like them to do is because I think Rey's a flawed character, and the sequels make her look like she's flawless and like that she's this amazing character from what they wanted her to be, which is not what she was, right? So what I would love is, since we know, even though they've chosen to tell us Rey is a Skywalker, blah, blah, whatever, right? To us, she's still Rey Palpatine. And so she still has issues. So for me, I would love it if when she, because a lot of people are mad that she's going to get the storyline that they wanted to see with Luke, where she gets to have a Jedi temple, right? But what I would love it is, what if her Jedi Order sucks? Like, what if she's trying to teach
Well,
the
right,
Order?
like, yeah, it's not working out for her, or like
Yeah.
we got a little glimpse of it in the movies, but like, what if because she is a Palpatine still, and not, and
Yep.
obviously it's the story of like just because you're related to someone bad does not mean that you are bad yourself, but like,
Yeah.
what if because she has Palpatine's powers in her blood, she still has the tendency to fall to the dark side,
Well, I
and what
thought
if
she was going to
that's
have
her
like an
struggle?
outburst. I like the idea of her having an outburst, and she has one of her students turn against her, and that becomes the villain. Because what happens is, I think that Jedi are supposed to be humble and supposed to be, very forgiving and very wise. And I would like it if she's teaching someone, and maybe the student isn't getting her lesson or isn't understanding, or she just sucks at teaching it, right? And she gets angry at them that their disobedience to her. So she like just force lightnings the freaking student.
Oh God. I mean, maybe not that crazy, but yeah.
I'm like something like that, or even like a force choke, something just that just moves the needle. Like, okay, maybe our teacher isn't that good of a person.
Right, because I think even after the end of Rise of Skywalker, she should still be in the movie, she should still be like grieving the fact that she lost Leia, she lost Han, she lost Luke, she lost Ben. Like, she should still have that on her shoulders, that
Right.
all of the people that were important to her are gone now.
Like, I hear
And
the
then
episodes.
Luke asked, do you guys like Rebels or Clone Wars more? I
Clone
gotta
Wars
say
more,
Clone
100%.
Wars. I gotta say Clone Wars. I
I
don't
would
think
say
Rebels
Clone
bad,
Wars more.
Look,
but I gotta say Clone Wars.
Rebels is good for like the OG people that grew up and they love the original trilogy. And I love the original trilogy. But I think what makes Clone Wars stand out is Clone Wars does more for the story, because not only is the animation better in Clone Wars, and they are different animation styles, and that's okay. But the thing with Clone Wars that's so good is, when you watch Clone Wars, you had questions from the prequels that they did not get to answer. That you watch Clone Wars, you're like, okay, I wondered about this, and now we're getting the answer to it. And yeah, it sucks. It comes in an animated TV show instead of the movies that we could have gotten in a movie. But I don't think it's the same thing as like Zack Snyder saying, "Oh, I have a longer cut of this movie that explains the story." This is better because it's like, okay, we're exploring the mythos further. We're going, okay, instead of putting it in the comic, we're making an extended cut of a movie. We're telling you in between this, before Anakin became this, these are the adventures he went on with his Padawan, and here's what happened. Oh, here's what this Jedi said. Oh, Obi-Wan and Anakin always had brotherhood, but they weren't without their flaws. They still had issues between each other. They were still a building point. Anakin didn't just fall to the dark side because Padme was gonna die in childbirth. It was bigger than that. There was more going on.
It was a build-up.
Yeah,
about Rey's student. I was just gonna say that, Luke, actually about Rey's student turning into her villain, literally Luke and Kylo. I was just gonna bring that up, actually, being like, we've seen that before, because Kylo, again, Luke.
We can't have that.
Luke already had a failed Jedi temple because that Kylo turned on him.
But
I think for that to happen again with Rey, I don't know. I would prefer something else. I think
we would have to see something like this still, because I don't think there's much more you could do.
Well, here's what I was gonna say though. I was gonna say, I mean, bringing up Jedi Survivor again, I think it would be good for Rey if she had a villain that was like Dagon Gera, where
it'd be cool if they did that.
Right, where
but I also don't want them to give big storyline stuff to a character that I think is just not gonna
Well, but here's the thing. What if the Rey movie's good, and what if they actually make Rey a better character? Because if we don't give Rey a big story, then that's just gonna hurt her even more, and then that's gonna add more fuel to the fire of her being bad.
I kind of think if Filoni has his way, because I think we need to move beyond the sequels. I kind of am expecting this Rey movie to be, even if it's serviceable, I want this to be like, there's that rumor about.
Right, it should be the last. I also want Daisy Ridley to like have a career outside of Star Wars as well.
I want this to be, whether this is good or bad, I want this to be the end, because what's coming next is if they honor what Kathleen had planned. Kathleen contacted negotiations with Simon Kinberg that did those awful X-Men movies, right? Like he did Dark Phoenix and all that stuff, and he's supposed to carry Rey into this big trilogy, and I don't want that. Like that's what
No.
they were planning when Kathleen did when they happened. That was
I
the big thing.
yeah, so I personally think that when it comes to Ray, I think as long as if they can make it some type of adventure for her, she's learning more about herself, the Force stuff, and then she has like another, there's like a new dark side out there for
Yeah,
her,
I like
and
your
it
idea,
just
kind of doing like
like
a
that.
Darren
So
Garrick. Yeah,
it's kind of like so I feel like she has to go along the route of that, and then kind of just make it as entertaining as possible because if they go with the whole her Jedi temple, it flops. Again, we've seen that already. Then if they
Right.
go
We've
with
seen that
like
so
so,
many
then if they
times.
and then it could be a thing like, oh, they might turn into the dark side, then they might turn her back. Like we don't want to see that again, of course. Like we've
I
seen that
just
Because
many
thought
times.
about that because I
honestly,
don't want
So
to. So here's my issue with the storyline stuff. Right, the reason I
right.
brought that up, not necessarily that because I want to see that, but my issue is if we don't see something like that, then we could get a world where they write Rey to be this perfect Jedi Master, and then you pull a
Well,
villain
what if
over.
here's my thing is like, what if we don't have her teach anyone? What if, or
no,
not really, or because
no,
here's
she
the
has
thing,
to be
I
on
feel
like
the
an
same
adventure or
way.
something.
I feel the same way about like how I'm like, I don't want to see the Empire again. We need a new whole
Right.
bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't need to see the Jedi Temple, Jedi Order back again.
But
I
that's
think
the
we
No,
can.
sad thing is that writing is already on the wall. If Filoni doesn't axe this film and this film still exists, everything that's
Mhm.
written about this film, they might fix things, but some things have to stay. And one of the things that
yeah,
have to stay is this movie. Do you remember the working title for this movie?
No.
It
What
was
is it?
called Ray's New Order.
Oh,
Like,
I see.
the
fuck.
writing is
Right.
on the wall. This
Cause
is
my
a
Fuck.
my
Ray
thing
Jedi
though,
Order
like,
movie.
what's so good about sorry, bringing it back to the games, I can't help myself, but like,
Yeah,
what was so good about the ending of Fallen Order is like Cal had the holocron with the list of all these Force sensitive children, and even he was considering rebuilding a Jedi or a temple and like being a
Right.
master, but then he ends up destroying the holocron because he just knows that it's like, what's the like, what I love about Cal's story as a Jedi is that he's still a Jedi, but he's like actually moving on, and he's still having the belief of a Jedi within him and sharing that with others, but it's not like he's out trying to rebuild the temple or
Right,
trying to
and
rebuild the order again.
I love the optimism and that those things could be great. I
Mhm.
just have
yeah,
kind of accepted that this project, no matter what,
Mhm.
it shouldn't happen, but it's happening because it was left over as a contingency. So
Yes.
because it was left over as a
yeah.
contingency,
I kind of hope that this film doesn't me personally. I
I
think
would
it
love it to be
shouldn't.
scrapped. I see no potential for
Yeah,
this thing.
same. I don't
I would
think.
love it to be
Mhm.
gone because I know everything that this movie's gonna
Because
be.
it's just gonna be messy. Like even
Yep.
if it's gonna
Yeah,
be a good, if it turns out to be a good movie, the fact that it exists, bad or not, Star Wars, the fandom already kind of sucks. This movie
yeah,
happening, it's gonna just add more fuel to the
I
fire.
don't like this movie's existence because I don't want the sequel fans, because there are those sequel fans that are hardcore sequel fans that for some reason love to
yeah,
say that the sequels are amazing because they have that point of view and they think that they're stuck in this delusional world where that's the Star Wars they grew up with, so they think it's great. And
yeah,
and I'm not trying to discredit them, but they're jumping on the toes of people that really know Star Wars because they
yeah,
think they've started YouTube channels and got fame off that they think Rey and Kylo Ren are the greatest misunderstood characters on the planet.
Well,
And
here I
and
think the thing about the sequels is really it's a trilogy of missed potential. Like
yeah,
it could have been
yeah.
something so good after Force Awakens, but then Last
And
Jedi and Rise of Skywalker just dropped the ball.
I mean, I think there was all
my
potential. There was potential
Well,
to make it happen. I believed that these sequels had potential, but people want to pretend that these movies were good because they're trying to either push some agenda or whatever reason. And then those people that they didn't get what they want, now the same people that are pushing these movies have moved over to try and come in over to
yeah,
the side of the acolyte.
my
So now they've gone,
my
okay,
my
well,
my
oh, you
thing
didn't do this.
is my thing is if I'm gonna say this. If this okay, it seems like the real film is gonna be happening, but I think if it
Mhm.
is bad, I do wish the Filoni says, you know what, the sequel trilogy and that scrapped like from the
Right.
timeline
Just
because
done.
I've
Done with.
I feel like it's too much. Like there's too much damage already that's done, and not
Do you
only
think they
that,
were
we've
still
had
gonna didn't they say at one
I
point
think
that because it was that whole thing where John Boyega had to take back his statement
yeah
about everything bad he said about the sequels? Do you guys
Mhm.
think that they conned John Boyega back into coming back into this Ray movie
I
so they
mean,
can
maybe
try
because I
and
was just
remedy?
gonna
yeah
say, I've been
I
thinking is that I
I,
would much rather have a Finn movie and have him be the main character, but
yeah
because
let him
of
become
Star,
yeah
it's just yeah. My thing is that
yeah
I think we should have Star Wars projects that are set in the future because if we
Right.
keep
yeah
going back in time, that's where things kind of get
Oh, I want to
yeah
same
see new
old.
honestly
projects. I just
But
think I
honestly
think we need better future projects. But if we're gonna do future, we need to go beyond what didn't work.
that's what I was gonna say is that we can do Star Wars projects that are set after the original trilogy and after the sequel trilogy. Just don't always have the sequel trilogy like be
referenced and
super
stuff
yeah
Yeah.
be like
yeah
not heavily referenced because
Right.
like yeah just needs to be because I think again it's like as much as like because here's the thing, having older back in time projects are cool and all, but if we also at the same time we're saying that we don't want more Empire stuff, then we need to go to the future. Because if we're
Right.
going back in the past, obviously the Empire and the Jedi Temple are gonna still be there. Or
Somebody
Order,
just
sorry.
I just
But
hope that if Starfighter is truly because I know there's the rumors about Starfighter tying with the Ray movie in some way and setting up stuff for her, which I hope isn't true. I
maybe. I think it will
I
be,
would love
honestly.
Starfighter to be properly beyond the sequels,
Mm-hmm.
and since we know that we're gonna get Matt Smith in there and said he's gonna be some sort of villain, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be
yeah
cool if Starfighter set up the next generation of the next era of factions of villainy that we're going to build towards. Because I would
yeah
like to see. I think someone like Matt Smith is too big of a talent to just
Mm-hmm.
kind of waste on one film. I would love it if we, because one of the things I look back at the sequels is like even the Acolyte, for instance. Like I do think that there could have been. Unfortunately, the Acolyte didn't work. Whatever, but like at least I would have looked forward to seeing more of Chimera because he was an interesting new
Right. I
addition.
like
Now,
he was the highlight of that show, to
well,
be
what was
honest.
that?
Yeah. Hmm?
That was bad.
Um.
Yeah,
Oh.
oh anyway
someone was
Um.
too close to the mic or something. I don't know. I could hear the bunch of
yeah
static for a minute, but
Sorry, I meant to say quite. What's his name? The acolyte guy. He was like the one of the highlights of the show.
yeah. And
And
there's a new book out
what
there
was
that
it?
Leslie Headland's trying to paint that this was always the plan of like making him the head of the Knights of Ren before Kylo and like all the way back in the
no
I
comics.
no
So
no
mean,
no no
yeah, I
that's
no
hate that they did
that's
that.
the thing. It's like the reason why I think like Star Wars right now, when it comes to projects that are being made right now, is like they're doing like the MCU thing where like this is all connected, and it's like yes, they're all set in the same universe, so yes, it makes sense that they're all connected. But my thing is like if Star Wars is in a galaxy far, far away, like the universe is expansive. They can just make up stories, and it doesn't have to be directly
I
connected to
wish they
anything.
did do it like Visions, but in live action, where like you could just throw a bunch of stories in a galaxy far, far away, like Tales, right? Or not even just
Right.
like Visions. Let's use Tales of the Jedi as an example, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Tales of the Jedi,
mm,
you have that story of like the story between Ahsoka confronting the Inquisitor and young Ahsoka's origin is not connected to Dooku and Mace coming into their own roles, right? They're two different
Right.
stories in different
Mm-hmm.
timelines, and you get to feel that vibe of like even something with Tales. So like I think that's what they should be doing is like we should get we talk about Elseworld stories all the time, but I feel like we
Mm-hmm.
should get
No,
storylines.
literally, I'm like, where's the Star Wars Elseworlds?
Yeah. Well,
Honestly.
there should be.
basically
Star Wars would have had a better what if than Marvel did, and they have never made a what if, and I think that that's
I
sad.
mean, Visions is technically their what if.
But like
yeah
with
technically
actual mainstay characters, it would have been so cool to see the different possibilities of like what could have happened.
Right.
yeah
Of like, I would love to see
because the
the
universe for Star Wars is much
what if
bigger than
Luke
Marvel.
and Leia
Mm-hmm.
agreed? What if Luke and Leia agreed to join Vader? What if?
What
Like
if
I like,
Leia was
Mm,
the Jedi? What if blah blah
yeah,
blah? Yeah. Or
like
like,
there's
what
a
if they
lot of
mm,
actually took
potential.
things from the extended universe, like from
Yeah,
the
there's cool
mm.
books,
potential for what they
instead
could
of cherry
do.
picking it? They just
Yeah, I think
actually
that would have been
adapt it.
fun. But yeah, I do agree. I think like moving forward, I think we do need now. Factions are hard because I don't know what other news they'd have to come up with something new completely. But I think once again, before we can do other factions, we can do other factions, but we do need to kind of take the building blocks of what Star Wars is, and then kind of build from there. Of like, okay, if we're gonna do a future movie, we agree we're telling a story with a smuggler, a Jedi, and all these different characters. Well, now we need to decide. We can do a new faction before to decide what that faction is. He doesn't necessarily need to be a Sith, or he or she doesn't need to be a Sith. But you could, if you're going to do a dark sider, you got to decide. Okay, if this is the dark sider, what is he in charge of? Is he a part of this? Does he have a gauntlet of bounty hunters? Does he have an organization of space ninjas? Like whatever he's got, you got to kind of establish what that is. So if you pick a new dark sider and you pick a big actor, so we're not gonna say this has to happen. Let's just say if they wanted, I know people aren't a big fan of bringing big actors to Star Wars, but let's just say for an example, right? Just a hypothetical example, we'll pick an actor like, it doesn't have to be this actor, but let's just say there's been a lot of buzz around him, and he's kind of in the younger variety, so he's not a big name yet. So let's say in the gap that they're building up at DC, their Justice League, and all the things they're doing, I know David Cornswell has expressed interest in Star Wars.
He's a big Star Wars fan.
So let's say that years later we're doing a new sequel. It's a new, or not new sequel, but post sequels. We're doing a new Star Wars project where we're set in the future, way after Rise of Skywalker, way after the Rey movie, all the way after these projects. New main antagonist, new protagonist, new stuff. And because Cornsweet has already played the most hopeful character, I would want Cornsweet to be the new villain face.
It would be interesting for him to be a villain. I know that he has expressed in an interview that he would be a pilot.
Okay.
So, or he would want to be a pilot. And I don't know, maybe it would be cool if we get a pilot of Star Wars movie. Like, I don't know, Star Wars Top Gun, essentially. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
They were trying to do, what was it called? They were trying to do that with, what's her name, who did the Wonder Woman movies, Patty Jenkins. Now, unless they canceled it again, before Kathleen was done, there was reports that they were still trying to make, what was it, Rogue Squadron or whatever? There was talks that
I don't think they even started that. So
no.
I think
they had talked about it was back on.
Talks,
I heard something on the release schedule that they squashed their beef and that she was back at it again. So and maybe Filoni saw it, maybe he still has some good feelings about it. Because it was supposed to be based off the memory that she had of her grandfather who was in World War II or whatever. And it was kind of like Star Wars Top Gun, where they wanted to tell a story about pilots.
See, I would watch that. I have no interest in Top Gun, but I would watch that movie in Star Wars. That's all you get me.
I know that would be cool. Yeah, like and on the Cornsweet thing, like I love the idea that it's cool that he might want to be a pilot, but I can also see Cornsweet going, like when they show him the script for something, like I would love to do this, but if you hand me that, I think he's just gonna be happy just to be in Star Wars. So
he would take on any role. Yeah.
So if they hand him a lightsaber and say you're the new villain for the new franchise,
I
don't think he's gonna turn that down. I think
and the things of Cornsweet as well, like the things of Cornsweet as well, he will challenge like anything he feels that's not fitting of Star Wars or fitting of the brand of the film or the character stuff like that. So
and there was an interview, like even though he loves DC and he's really excited about playing Superman, there was some interview where someone was quizzing him on Star Wars and he knew his shit. So he would he would definitely hold people accountable, even though I love to dog on him even though he's our new president. I feel like he would stand there in the room with Dave Filoni and smack him and go, no,
just have a project with Sam and David together, and then have them be the Star Wars quizzers.
You know what they should do? They need to give Sam another character, because after he's done playing Maul, I mean, I want to say that one day we'll see Starkiller in live action, but I've just kind of given up on that happening. So they got to give Sam a new character. They got to make a new character for Sam.
Honestly, they bring Starkiller back. They bring Starkiller. They make Starkiller canon. Oh my god.
If they make Starkiller canon, they make him the main villain of the future.
They would never do that. Too messy. Or if they would be like, the games are canon, but the characters.
That's what I'm saying. And the games were already not canon anyway. So
I'd be okay with them.
That would be a fun Elseworld-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would be a good
Starkiller adaptation movie.
Yeah.
But I would like to see, like, speaking of actors jumping on and playing a villain, if we're thinking of the future of Star Wars, I would love to see Sam honestly play a new character, because I think that Sam out of all the characters, I like the idea of Quincy. I like your idea of
What
Quincy,
if-
like wants to be a pilot. Sam could play the next generation villain because I think that he would have been already in that room and could have talked to Filoni, and I just don't know what villain he would be. I have to think.
Honestly, what if we make Sam essentially Star Wars Michael Rooker, where he just keeps showing up as different characters?
I'd be down with that. It'd be great.
Just let him play whatever, and then that's fine.
As long as he gets to be a character that gets that recognition, because I saw something I wanted to talk about briefly before we move on to our
Rogue
next
Squadron
topic.
is still in development.
Yeah, like I said, I told you it's still in development. But before we move on to our next topic, the last thing I really wanted to say was a Patty as of 2024. Okay. But so the other thing I wanted to talk about was with so there's a whole thing with like Sam and like the villain and stuff of all that. I saw someone talk about this even as big as a YouTuber as Star Wars Theory, and you know what I looked at that really kind of upsets me, and that's crazy. He's saying this ahead of the mall show. He really doesn't like, and I might make my own video on this because I saw it being talked about. He doesn't like that Maul isn't stoic like he was in Phantom Menace. Like he was saying, like he loves Sam Witwer, but he doesn't like that they made Maul, just looking at the Maul Shadow Lord show, that he's chatty. But I love that because they gave Maul more personality.
I wouldn't even really describe him as chatty because he's very calculated, and when he does talk, it's a monologue. He's very serious all the time.
Exactly.
He's upset because Maul used to go kind of like, because Maul's now gone. Maul used to sound, I think it was Peter Sylvanus, I think is how he said it. He used to be like, "At last we'll reveal ourselves to the Jedi," and that was all. And then now,
but my thing is with that, he's gone through so much. So for him to be still like that, that don't make sense. He's a Sith. He's a Sith. I understand he was a calm Sith. I get that. Yeah. But at the same time, like he's gone through so much. So for him to be how he is now in the Clone Wars and especially in Rebels, it makes sense. Like I feel like
also,
he can't be the same.
Sith, the dark side, they're angry. So let him
exactly.
be really angry.
So it evolves.
I like the way we get to get emotions from him. Like I like that we actually see. Like I love the scene.
Well, that's the whole point of how the Sith is different from the Jedi because the Jedi are supposed to be calm, cool, and collected, and the Sith are more loud and open.
Like I love the scene where his brother is talking to him, and Clancy Brown has such a good, just such a good voice actor. He's talking to him, and he's going like after they put his mind back together with Mother Talzin. He's standing there, and he's like, "What is this conflict, brother?" And he's like, "There is conflict, the Clone Wars. Ah, yes, and so it began without me." And he's sad that he's not a part of this conflict. And so I just like I feel like I think some of the stuff they give him, like I love the scene where he's training Savage and trying to figure out the whole thing, and I think it's Clone Wars season 5, and Savage is like, "Brother, what are these plans? Why are we teaming up with this Mandalorian? What has happened?" He's like, "You see, brother, my vision it has expanded. It is a lot more clear now." And like just that whole arc of his criminal empire and everything. I just love that. I love the idea of him just going like, I'm smarter than these people. And I think what's cool is Maul in Phantom Menace is just kind of a hired gun. He just kind of there, doing Palpatine's bidding and doing whatever. But I love that. Clone Wars turned Maul into, to be honest, and I know this is a crazy take because I know there's hundreds of books to describe this. Maul is basically what Thrawn should be in Ahsoka. Like Maul is intelligent and can lead an organization.
And
like,
I get what you're saying.
It kind of sucks because like Thrawn's supposed to be this like Sherlock Holmes character, but Maul's kind of like, oh no, we don't need to worry about the Sith. I'm not Palpatine's lapdog anymore. I got my own organization. I don't need to be a Sith. He got it all figured out. And I love that. I love that Maul gets a person. I love that they made Maul a person where you're like, okay, Maul can team up with Ahsoka, and he has this knowledge of what's going to happen with Anakin. He knows the Empire's coming. He knows all these things are going to happen. And I think that's really cool. So I don't think you get that with a lot of dark sides. When Anakin becomes Vader, he just kind of becomes fixated on wanting to kill Obi-Wan and then wanting to get Luke to join his side. Where and like in his head, yes, there are definitely inner conflict going on, but with Maul, dear God, he's getting banned.
You're getting banned, Luke.
but with Maul, it just feels more complex, and I think it's great. But anyway, I think we need to move through our next
Okay.
topic. We
Enough
always
Star
talk about
Wars
Star Wars
talk.
so much. Yes.
All right. So
But
there's going to
overall-
be the state of play on Thursday for PlayStation. Chris, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so
Predictions?
I think so my predictions for that state of play. I've heard rumors. Obviously, Wolverine is coming out this year, so there is something
Right.
for that. Apparently, there could be that. Then there could be rumors about Devil May Cry 6. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the state of play, but there's rumors of that too.
I would
There's
love
also
that.
rumors because what is it, Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake or the new game called Hexy. So there's that. There's a bunch of games that they could showcase that they could say. It is. I think it's going to be for like an hour. So
Yeah.
it could. Some of it could. Half of it could be gameplay for a new game, and then the rest of it could be just trailers and stuff like that. They did say a few indie games as well. But yeah, I think the big game, I'm looking at maybe Wolverine and Devil May Cry 6 more. I can't really see anything else because
We
Right.
I feel
need
like most of the games that that's coming out on console and PC,
we
State of Play
need
can't really
proper
address that anyway because
gameplay.
it's coming out this year anyway. So
We need proper gameplay from Wolverine, not just a cinematic trailer. I need to
yeah,
see
I
the
felt like it was
combo
a bit of both
system.
of the
I
trailer.
need to see
It
So, but
what
was,
yeah,
yeah, because there were some things where like Wolverine was, you saw him like,
Yeah.
literally.
yeah,
I want to see like a proper gameplay. I think Wolverine will be disappointing. I mean, here's the thing, Luke. If that game disappoints anybody, Insomniac is done. Like if that
nah,
Wolverine game is done, is bad. I think that they could lose their Marvel gaming license because
no. I
Spider-Man
mean,
is up.
honestly, they've got Spider Man. I mean, the Spider Man series have sold pretty well. So if Wolverine does do bad, I'm sure we'll look at it in something like a different way. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you messed up on Wolverine. You tried. Now let's go back to Spider Man
I
and
think
just
it
finish
cooks
that
them
off.
though because I think
That-
that if you look at the numbers of stuff, even though it did all right sales, I think a lot of people weren't big fans of Miles Morales because it was just glorified DLC, and I think a lot of people weren't fans of Spider-Man 2 because it felt like a lot of people liked it, but you can see they failed to make DLC for it. So like
yeah,
they they
100.
they,
Yeah,
they
yeah, that's true.
clearly
That's true.
upset a lot of people with wasting that game. And if Wolverine is no offense to Spider-Man, but it will be decent. But let's see if they cut concerns like corners like
Cut
Spider-Man.
corners, yeah.
Yeah, well, the problem that
Very
I run
possible.
into is I feel I know that everyone loves Spider-Man. They love to see Spider-Man has awesome stuff and lore and all these other great things. But I think
Yeah,
Wolverine is just one of those things where it was a game that people were looking forward to so much and the hype around it. If this game does not succeed, they are in hot water because you run a Spider-Man game, you can bounce back, you can do a lot of other things. Wolverine was the first game they were doing that was out of that Spider-Man world, and if they kind of break that, and this game is not, even if it's decent, this game doesn't have to be amazing, but if it's okay, if it's decent, fair, fine enough, that's awesome. But this game needs to at least be on the level of the old X-Men Origins Wolverine game, where they gave us just pure berserk rage gameplay of Wolverine just going around and tearing people up, and then also have a good story. If this Wolverine game is not good, I think it's going to be a problem for people because I think that there's a lot of hype on this game. I can't tell you all the conversations I have where I hear from people every day that are waiting for new footage of this game, or they're hearing things about it, and like there's too much hype for this game to like if it fails, it's a problem because
yeah,
like I want it to be good. I hear people saying it being disappointing. I can understand that take. Interesting that they're saying that there could be that we could get some news on a Devil May Cry 6. I love Devil May
yeah.
Cry. I
Devil
think
May. I
that
heard Devil May Cry 6. Yeah, so
I'm waiting
I've
for
still got to play through 5. But
oh yeah.
I'm assuming that I could see Devil May Cry dropping next year, if anything. Really and truly, I
I'm
can't
still
see it.
working on 5, but I love the game. I think it's great.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I'm saying, Luke, though. It's too hyped because of the fact that there's a lot of potential on it. So, like, if they took a break to work on it and then they put a lot of effort into it, they canceled games. So I understand, like, your notion is, like, you think it's too hyped, so you think it's going to be bad. But that's something we
yeah,
need. That's something we need to accept, though. That's also is there's going to be times where something is too hyped and it's not good. But there's also going to be times where, like, something is hyped because everybody wants it. And so, like,
mm,
if something is hyped to this degree, it's not always meaning it's going to fail. Sometimes it can mean that something is hyped because their potential is there, and if people know that they know they messed up on Spider-Man 2. People, I can tell you how many people are in my inbox every day about when's the Carnage DLC for Spider-Man 2 coming out, and Insomniac has not commented on it once.
Yeah, they've not. I don't think you see Carnage is too big of a villain for them to do DLC, so he has to be in the third game somehow.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the thing is, there was supposed to be DLC for Spider-Man 2, but because of the leak that happened literally like months after the game, where the DLC was about to release, I think they just cancelled it. They just said, no, we're not going to do it at all. So,
and to be fair, even though they tried to cover it, even though they tried to cover it up,
it's just one of them ones, like, you know.
Even though they tried to cover it up a while ago, when they showed let me hear some Resident Evil 9.
Oh, Resident Evil 9. Yeah, bro, listen, I'm ready. I'm ready for that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them released, but I'm getting that game at some point between March
if it's
and
the last
April.
thing I do.
Seriously. So, like, honestly, I'm playing that. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm still wondering if I'm going to do it as a review style or like a let's play, but it's going to be on my channel at some point. So I'm definitely ready for that. I don't need to see anything more for Resident Evil 9. I know it's going to be, it's Capcom. I trust them. It's back to the original stuff, how we like it. So I'm ready. I'm ready for R9. You know,
I don't think it's gonna be in that. I mean, other than that Daredevil tease that we heard information about, because there was a thing saying that Daredevil might appear in Wolverine.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah,
I could see. I don't think you're gonna see, other than like certain big Marvel characters maybe referenced. I really think that Wolverine's gonna stay in the pocket of the X-Men corner of things.
I was just gonna say, listen, Daredevil is cool. I don't think I want him in the Wolverine game. Not because I have anything against Daredevil, but like I much prefer keep it X-Men focused.
I don't think
like I would love if Storm showed up. I know that we were gonna see Mystique and Jean Grey, obviously, or like Cyclops, like literally anybody else.
Well, when it comes to the Daredevil thing, I don't think he's gonna show up. I think he's just gonna be referenced, because I think Insomniac is trying to. I think Insomniac's trying to build up this world.
Maybe Daredevil might be the next Insomniac Marvel game.
I mean, people want it. People have said that's what they really want more than any of these other Spider-Man games. Like they've said they want that game more than anything. And so I could see that. I think honestly, with the Wolverine game, they was talking about this game that they wanted this game to be a backdoor game because they really want Insomniac to make an X-Men game. Like, because people were pissed about what happened with the online Spider-Verse game they were making. That was pulled.
I forgot about that.
So I could see them. So even though these games are normally single player, I could see this Wolverine game playing up a X-Men multiplayer game where it's story, but it's also got like what's it called, multiplayer missions, but then also the campaign is, hey, you can play with your friends and you all get to play as the X-Men. Right? So I think that we do need to get, I don't know about you guys, but I want co-op games to return. I love single player games, but I would love to just take some friends online, and as much as we love
I think a co-op game would be good.
I want to be able to play like the old days. You guys remember like the Halo games? You could play, bring a buddy online, and then you guys could go and play through the campaign together.
Do the story. I want to go back that'd be cool.
I want to go back to like the multiplayer missions and stuff like Rivals and PvE stuff is fun, but I really want to get story games again where you can play with your friends, whether they're next to you on the couch or you send an invite online and they join you. Because I think that's what people want to see. So if they open up to an X-Men game, like we had back in the day on PS2, we had X-Men Legends, I believe they were called. I think anything like that would be cool. Like, just like, okay, we play as all the mutants, we get to team up, and Marvel's got to push a big focus on X-Men moving forward. If you're going to take that feature into the games, I think that's perfectly cool. Because I think people would want Avengers and Suicide Squad, Kills the Justice, we put a fast stop to multiplayer games, beat 'em ups. I don't think
both of those games, because of how both of those games stopped. Like,
but yes,
it definitely hurts the kind of game.
That hurt it, but I don't think it's gonna make a permanent. And I do think we will.
No, I don't think it's gonna make a permanent either. No, I still think co-op games are still like playable. Like they're still fun to play. Like if you have to make the right game or something. So there's also with the state of play as well. I kind of do want to see what this Assassin's Creed, if they do Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, I want to see how that turns out because
I want to see what
Right.
Ubisoft
happens
right
with
now are still
the.
in hot water. Well, Ubisoft
Mhm.
right now are pretty much just like
Right,
the
yeah,
company's
Ubisoft's not
completely
doing
in
hot.
shambles.
Not
Yeah,
doing
I want to
good.
see a
So
new
you
update
know,
on on this what is it called, the Captain America Black Panther game they were working on.
yeah, same. I want to see that as
Oh
What is
well.
yeah,
it? The
that's
Rise of
right.
Hydra.
Oh yeah, was it called?
Yeah,
It's like it was it. Oh God, what is it called? It's like Captain America 1984 or something, or
They
like
changed
19
it too. They changed the title. I think it's now something Rise of Hydra,
Rise of.
something where they're
yeah,
both
something
gonna
like
be.
that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gotham Knights. That's also pretty
Yeah,
yucky
that wasn't
of a
very
game.
good. No, but I really did
Nah,
like.
I mean,
I mean,
I liked Gotham Knights because okay, I think the co-op was much better with Gotham Knights, but I do think playing it on your own it can get boring. I will admit it
Right.
can get very repetitive, but I think the story was really good. The gameplay was just repetitive, that's all. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't like Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was terrible.
well, the thing
So,
is, they should have
like,
made that game with like the combat system that they had in the Arkham games, and they didn't do
yeah,
it.
that's what they should
Like,
have used the Arkham system, but they just chose to ignore that.
that
And
game
then,
should have been.
you
They
know,
should have made that game. What it should have been is it should have been a way to send off the Arkham franchise, the Arkham Batman, and then you should have seen the actual Bat family take over in the Arkham world the way it was instead of doing their whole thing they did. That would have been
yeah.
better. But
Mm.
is that all you have for the state of play stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much just the play stuff.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's
Kenna,
good.
what's our next topic?
Alrighty, so our next topic is I thought Spider-Man 2 would be two-player, but nope. Honestly, it should
I
have been,
wanted that
especially if you're
too. I
playing if you
wanted
have
that
Miles
too.
and Peter. That
Yeah.
I
would have
argued
been
that for so long, and people were like, no, it needs to be a single player game. Like, no, why? Why could you not have your
It
buddy
doesn't
play
need to be.
Spider-Man with
It
you?
could. It can be co-op. Like you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so our next, I'll just do my own little thing real quick.
Yeah.
So I watched Primal. I didn't get super far. I got to episode 2, season 2, and there's 3 seasons out right now. Luke got me
Yeah.
into the show. It is an adult animated show made by Gendy, I believe his name. I might have mispronounced, but the creator of Samurai Jack and also like Dexter, like he's a director on Dexter, director on Powerpuff Girls. He's done so many cartoons that you all know probably or
Right.
heard at
Yeah.
least once before. It is different compared to other animated shows that he's done where it's not dialogue. There's no dialogue. There is, yep, Primal. There is voices, but not actual talking. It's usually
Yeah.
screaming or
Yeah.
grunting. It's all just noises and sound effects because it's set in caveman era, and we follow the specific caveman called Spear, and he eventually teams up with a dinosaur called Fang after
That's cool.
after a tragedy happens to him in the first episode. If you really are a big fan of animation and visual storytelling, the show's for you. I will say you have to be, because there is no dialogue, you do have to be in a very specific mood to really get into the show, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't
Yeah.
hooked in by episode 1, but then I kept watching it because I do like animation and I do think it's good. Episode 5 really is where it gets started going good, and then episode 7 is personally my favorite. Yes, it is very brutal. Like there, even though there's no dialogue, the art definitely makes up for it with the story and like the brutality. Where because it's cavemen and dinosaurs, rims are being torn apart, brains are being smushed into. It's like crazy. It's like
Yeah.
honestly animated boys level, maybe. I don't know if
Oh,
that's
that's
fair to
cool.
say, but definitely just like obnoxious, like crazy, just people just dying.
Mm.
Um, and then season 2, we get to meet a new character because after season 1 is usually just the caveman and the dinosaur. They meet new
Okay.
characters, or they meet obstacles, if anything. But now season 2, you eventually the cast gets bigger as the
That's
show goes
cool.
on.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched another show. I mean, obviously, Joe, I know you've seen Samurai Jack, and you too, Chris, probably.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, I personally didn't, but I watched another show of his called Unicorn Warriors Eternal. I think it's called. That's another show on HBO Max.
Okay.
If you don't like Primal, they're very different shows. But if you don't like Primal, but you just like Genny's work in general, I would suggest
Yeah.
watching Unicorn Warriors Eternal, of course. But yeah, no, I think it's a really good show. It's a nice show to just put on and kind of
You also got to
just
remember
relax.
that he did. You also got to remember he also did the micro Clone Wars episode.
That is true.
Before Revenge of the Sith came out. So.
Oh yeah, true.
That's my favorite of his work.
He's
other than
done a
Samurai
lot
Jack
of
personally.
things. He's done a lot of things, and he'll continue to do a lot more.
So
yeah,
then all
no,
you have
Primal
for
I
us
thought
on
was
Primal.
good.
So is that?
Yeah, that's
so,
yeah. I don't want to get too spoiler heavy, especially since I know you two haven't watched it.
What
Or
would you
haven't
rate
got...
Primal out of 10 right now? Before just your take. You think you need to watch more before you form a proper
I
opinion?
can't rate the whole show because I haven't finished season 2 or 3, but I finished season 1, and I think I would give season 1 a maybe a 7 or 8 out of 10. I can't pick one right now.
Okay.
But I think
That's
it's a good show, and I do think maybe once I finally watch season 2 and 3, it will get even better. So again, my overall score of the show may change once I finally finish it. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's great to hear.
Joe, I know that you watched some movies too, as
I
well.
did. Okay, so I have some reviews to go, and I'm going to do them really fast because one of them I don't have to say. I don't have too much to say, but one I do have more. But we have to power through these really quick because we're running a little short on time. But we'll do this. We'll do this rapid fire pretty quickly so we can get to our other topics real fast. So I finally watched Final Destination Bloodlines. I've never really been a huge fan of the Final Destination franchise. But everyone told me to check out Bloodlines. I've seen all the movies, but I never really looked at them and went, oh, okay, I really love this franchise. Or I think a lot of them have kind of just been kind of a lot of them for a horror thriller type thing, it seemed kind of mid or whatever. But one of the reasons I wanted to check this out is my girlfriend was really into them, and then also the fact that Tony Todd, this is his kind of send-off project.
It is his last, because he unfortunately passed away.
And as I can say definitely in this review, this is the best film in the franchise because it's not just the silliness that you get from the other movies. I like that most horror movies have a problem killing off their main characters. And I like that in this movie, they don't hold back. A lot of these events that happen, everybody, the movie's been out for a while, so I guess I could spoil it a little bit. Everybody dies.
I've seen it.
Everybody dies. And I think that's
who doesn't die in a Final Destination?
Yeah, literally, yeah. Exactly.
So I like that. But I like the way I like how the stakes are up. I like how stuff. If I had to score this, like I said, I don't think the Final Destinations are anything that proud to write home about. But if I had to give it a score out of 10, I probably would give it maybe a 7.5 out of 10 because I think it's still a solid. I think it's the highest score of the movies, but I don't think that I could give any of these movies over maybe a 7 or 8 because I just don't think there's enough there to say, oh, these are amazing or these are super good. But right,
because it is just a Final Destination movie. But I saw Bloodlines as well a while ago, and I thought it was really good.
I loved it. I loved it for what it is. I'm pretty happy with my 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a very solid movie. I'll have a YouTube review out for it later. But I also watched a new movie on Netflix called Wrecking Crew with Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa, which is what kind of attracted me to the project. And it's kind of not what I was expecting. It's got action scenes in it. It's a plot revolving around them both being brothers and going to kind of goes on an investigation journey to discover what happened to their father, who basically was involved with some shady deals with the Yakuza family. And so they kind of try and investigate it. And a lot of the humor comes from the two of the brothers not getting along. They also have that actress who is Deadpool's girlfriend, Vanessa, and in Gotham, I think she was also in Gotham, and she's kind of Jason Momoa's girlfriend in the movie, but they're kind of on off in the movie. And so there's really fun humor in the movie. The action scenes, unfortunately, up until the very end of the movie, I think they kind of leave a little to be desired because I think it just kind of has the Hollywood problem where they don't really know how to shoot them properly. So there's a couple scenes where Dave Bautista and Jason Statham are at each other's throats, and there's some cool fight scenes, but they could be much better. But I think welcome.
Hello, Retro.
But I think when you get to the third act, when the villain gets revealed behind the plot, which I won't spoil here, the action scene that ends up in the end when the brothers finally come together is fantastic. Them just going all crazy. Why are we
Luke,
running out of
Joe
time?
has something to go to at 6.
I'm
so.
going to a movie.
Mhm.
I'm going to a movie tonight. I'll have another review out. I'll probably talk about this review on the next show as well because I'll have my video review out tonight, but I'll definitely have it
Yeah.
out on the podcast next week. So before I continue my review of this, hey AJ,
Hey, AJ.
we are actually going to how do I word this? I'm going to see Send Help tonight, so
Mhm.
I'm pretty
Okay,
excited.
cool. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'll have a
Retro,
new
we
Sam
did talk
review.
about State of Play already before.
Yeah. So
So-
basically the whole thing, the final thoughts of this is it's a
Mhm.
fun, they're not cops, but I guess you would describe it as kind of almost like a buddy cop movie. But
Mhm.
what's really interesting is this movie actually has a lot more depth and emotion than I thought we're talking about. I'm talking about the Wrecking Crew, AJ.
Mhm.
So it's on Prime. Prime's got some pretty good movies right now. So yeah, I'm really excited. I really liked it. It's nice that because I know Momoa has the connection to the Hawaiian roots and Jason and Dave Bautista as well. And I like that they kind of paid homage to that culture in this movie because a lot of the movie is set up in Hawaii. So I think that's really cool. The filming location is really nice for a Prime movie. It is very solid. I actually would give this movie higher than Final Destination because I think there's even with my one nitpick, I think the movie's better because I think it's fun. I think it's got emotion. I would give this an 8 out of 10 because I just a tiny bit higher. Now I am biased because Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista are absolutely
Right, and it's also more the
fantastic.
genre of the movie is definitely more of your style.
It's more
than
gravitated
blood,
towards me,
than horror.
but I did think that I actually enjoyed the humor in this movie more than I enjoyed the action. Like the action is good, but I think this movie doesn't work if these two leads aren't the focal point. Like I think that they had to have you have to make it the focal point for it to sell, and I think it's really solid. So you guys get a chance to check it out on Prime. It's not a very long movie, but it's pretty solid. I definitely think you check it out. There also is a lot of aura farming. Oh, thank you, Retrolad. There's a lot of aura farming for Momoa kind of going to this movie. Let's just say he's wearing sunglasses and on a motorcycle a lot in this movie, and you're kind of like, yes, we know Lobo's right around the corner. I understand. Like I can feel the entire time watching this movie. You can literally go like, "Yes, I see what you're doing," and he has a lot of, even though he's normally a funny guy, he has a lot of funny, badass, funny moments in this movie where you're like, "Okay, I see what you're doing, Jason. I see you. I see what you're doing. We're ready for it. We're ready for Lobo. I see you're ready. You've been waiting all your life." But yeah, overall, really enjoyed this movie. Definitely think you guys should check it out.
That's good. Underground asks, have we talked about War Machine on Netflix? I have not heard of that movie.
So I can briefly talk about it because I have because I did put out a video today so far.
Well,
I'm releasing many.
If you're posting a video, I understand that you're on a time crunch and I do want to move on.
Well, I can do it really fast. I'm just gonna tell Underground that yes, I did hear about the movie, and if you want to hear my thoughts on it, you should check out my video. I posted the video of reacting to it. Yes, so check it out. But we got to move on to our next topic.
Okay, so our second final topic. This will be very spoiler heavy for the Fallout Season 2 finale. So if you don't want to get spoiled for the final episode of Season 2, probably want to click off. Or if you don't really care, you're welcome to stay on. So, yes. Fallout Season 2 finale, I thought was really, really good. It definitely made me want to watch more. It definitely made me feel that I wanted season 3 out right away. I thought it was a very good ending, and it was very satisfying. It didn't really, it left things open for the show to continue, but it also tied up its loose ends perfectly, where it wasn't like, Walton Goggins, yes, that is true. Walton Goggins does explode. I'm just kidding. No, that's not true. Yeah, everybody dies in the finale. Yeah, no.
No, that's not true.
But what was I gonna say? Yes, like my thing was like, oh, how are they gonna handle Lucy's dad? Because he was like the big points of the story for season 2, like trying to find him, trying to, bring him to justice. But I think the way that how Lucy doesn't defeat him, but essentially kind of defeats him. Well, not defeats himself, but like kind of like he's not a threat anymore, essentially.
Yeah.
was like very good, and I think it makes a lot of sense, where he essentially turns on the device where he loses his memory and he's like, "Hi, how are you? Like, I'm so nice. I'm just your average guy." And then it's a good ending for Lucy, I think, because it was really the question is like, because Lucy is so attached to her morals, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, is she gonna kill her dad, or is she just gonna bring him back to the vault to just like live away in like a prison essentially? But I think him just wiping his memory was a much better ending for his character, and I think it's better
Yeah.
for um Lucy. Oh, I kind of think someone is gonna find a way to reverse the work like Norm down the road. That could happen, especially if with the ending of, oh my god, what's her name? The Canadian woman who was which we learned that she was the wife to Lucy, the other wife to Lucy's dad in the first place.
Yeah.
That she's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
initiate phase 2,
She's
and
from
she's like,
Canada.
I'm the wife of Hank, blah blah blah. I'm thinking maybe she like finds him, or the oh god, what's it called? The oh, what's it called? Oh, I can't remember now, but like they'll find him, and I can see them reversing him, or I can also see them being like, "Well, you done your job. You can either just live like this, or we'll put you down." I can also totally
Yeah.
see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Definitely.
and my thing was like, and also with the ghouls arc, his whole thing was like he was trying to find his wife and child, his daughter. And I remember when he finally got to the cryopods, I literally said, "Dude, imagine if they're not in there." And guess what? They were not in
They
there.
won. Yeah. I had a feeling they
And
won either. Yeah.
yeah, and I was
I had
like,
a
and I'm
feeling.
like, oh, I hope they're not like dead, but no, it's
Yeah. But then
she
they saw
leaves
the
a
note
postcard.
Colorado.
Yeah,
So.
they're in Colorado, so he's heading towards Colorado, but he left Dr. House, not Dr. House,
Mm.
yeah, Robert House, sorry,
Yeah. Robert House. Yeah.
Robert House. But obviously, I think Robert House, though, even though he's done talking to the ghoul, he's obviously going to
Mm.
start talking to Maximus and Lucy because he's reconnecting
Yeah.
to the TV in that casino where they're both at. So I think that's
Mm.
how the story will continue.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also saw an interesting theory about the ghoul's wife and daughter, of how the wife is probably really old or she's dead, but the daughter is grown up, and the daughter is like the leader or the president of the whatever um like government or something, or like there, or like it's the ghoul's granddaughter who's the leader. I saw very interesting theories,
Right.
and I can't
Yeah.
wait to see for season 3.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
true.
really love Maximus's like fight with the death claws,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
I
It
That was
had
felt
a
cool.
very Pacific
feeling.
Rim to me. If you guys remember the
Mm.
Pacific Rim movies,
Yeah.
felt
Yeah. Yeah.
very
Yeah.
Pacific
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Rim.
definitely.
Like I love the fact when he's like, I
Yeah.
love the fact when he's boxing him
Mhm.
with the blades, just like, oh man,
Yeah.
that's
Mm.
crazy.
He's doing this thing.
I had a feeling that the final shot that killed um the death claw was not from the other ghoul. I had a feeling it was someone else, but it was a nice surprise that it was the NCR. And it was cool that they
Yeah.
filed in and they're like, "Hey, we're here." So
Mm.
I think it just like wrapped it, like it was just it's what how a finale should end for a
Well, I really
season,
like
where
Yeah.
it
because
wraps
they
up a lot of
wrapped up
things, but it
everything.
also shows more things to be
They
explored.
wrapped up everything that they set up in season 2, but then also set up new things for season 3, which
Exactly.
which I think is really brilliant. Also we got to talk about, because it was one of the things dangling in season 2 earlier, is we thought that they would get rid of the leader of the Brotherhood, but they show in the end credit scene that the leader of the Brotherhood has been working
Oh
on
yeah.
a
He's got
secret
the destroyer.
project.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
making the next mech suit,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
apparently is
Mhm.
from the games, and I've heard there's
Mm.
going to be kind of a bigger deal. So
Yeah.
that's going to be interesting to go into. How about
Oh yeah, the whole Caesar thing. That was good.
Yeah,
I really don't have
Yeah,
much
the
to
Caesar
say
thing was
about
good.
that,
That was good.
but it was
I think
good.
that was short and to the point because I don't think you need to drag that side,
at least
that
they didn't dive
specifically out.
into it so much and go crazy on it.
Yeah, yeah, for
So
real,
Well,
for
that's good.
real.
right. Well, I
They
do
didn't
think
need
season
to.
3 though will be. I talked to Luke about this before. We're not done with Vegas yet. I think because
No, it's
we
going to go
literally
way
just,
more Vegas heavy.
yeah, we just got to
Yeah.
Vegas near the middle of like near the
Do you think
end,
it's
middle
gonna be
of season 2.
split? Like, do you think the storylines are gonna be split apart a little bit? Where like you're gonna have all our main characters in Vegas, but then do you think that the
Well, we're
ghoul is
obviously
gonna
gonna
be headed
have the
to
ghoul.
Colorado?
Yeah, Ghoul is gonna be in Colorado, and Lucy and Maximus will both have to deal with the aftermath of what happened.
Mm.
And Vegas. I
That would
think
be
that's where it's
interesting.
going to start. I also think we're finally going to get a reunion between Norm and Lucy, or we should, because Norm has no clue what's going on. He doesn't know he doesn't know what Lucy's been doing. He doesn't know
Oh yeah. And
what
he
happened
almost
to he doesn't
died
know
as
what
well.
happened to
Oh,
his dad yet. He
God.
doesn't know that his dad wiped his
Man,
own memory.
he
So
almost died as well, fam, because of
yeah.
that guy, man. I'm glad. I can't lie. I'm low key kind of glad that Groot got killed by them cockroaches because, bro, like he they'd say, "Oh, you're lying. You don't know it's a part." He didn't mean to lie. He just like it was one of those things that if he told you the truth, you're not gonna believe it. That's the
Right.
thing. So like Dale was just like, "No, we don't," and then all of them ran into that room, and then the bugs get in. The only person that survived was his obviously his new girl, I think, basically. So like kind of made sense. I was just like, yeah, finally, like, because that guy was annoying.
Yeah, he did call out for Lucy. I remember that,
Mm.
but
Yeah, so I think
they
that's
still haven't met out. They still haven't met up yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I think that would be
Will
a good thing
happen.
for season 3. I think season 3, hopefully they'll start working on it soon. I think it's gonna be
I also think we'll
really
be getting a
good.
season 4 as well.
Yeah, I mean it makes
Yeah.
sense. The show
I think it
continues
can
to do
end
Ella
before
well,
season.
but
Purnell has said something about season 3 and 4 before in an interview, so it's definitely gonna get a lot
they're
more
just gonna
content.
keep
Yeah, because
they're just
obviously
gonna keep
they
making
even
her.
said what did she say? She said I think she started a war or something. So there's gonna be the war now of
Yeah, I think they're
with
gonna
that whole
keep
stuff. So
making she's gonna keep making more seasons until she
mm.
gets that call from DC to go play Zartana. Then
Zatanna.
she's preparing her resume right now.
I actually wouldn't mind her as Harley Quinn either. I saw a little
Oh, that's
art.
interesting. I wouldn't mind that
Mm.
because
As
she
much as
did.
I
I would,
like
yeah, it's a
Margot
Thanos, but I
Robbie,
think she could
Because
probably
didn't she play?
she plays
Wasn't she?
Jinx
She was
in
Jinx, so
Arcane.
she's already kind of dipped her toes into being the
Craziness.
crazy villain. So,
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
Well, and Goggins says Fallout 76 sucks less than it used to. Yeah, and I remember you saying that to me.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. So
Yeah, I think I've only really played 3, so like that's the only Fallout I remember.
Spicy, but not too spicy.
Fallout season 2 was really good, and I can't
It
wait for
was
season
really
3
good. I
and
really
4.
don't have any notes. I mean, again, I don't know much about the game, so I'm just really from a show perspective of it. It's like it's a really good show, even if you don't know anything about the games. You can get into it, and it's
What's your
really
final score
fun.
now that you've seen all episodes in season 2?
Probably like a 9 out of
Ooh.
10 or 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I think 9 out of 10 is good.
9 out of 10. I think it's been really enjoyable. Yeah.
Now let me ask
I
you
just
this.
had one nitpick about.
What's your nitpick?
It wasn't a nitpick for the finale. It's just for overall the season 2 where there was an episode. I forgot which one it was, but it was when it was revealed that the ghoul was bringing Lucy to her dad to try to get his wife and daughter back, and she's she gets hit with a tranquilizer, but she's still up, and she punches him through. Like, I get it, they had to do that because she got the power, the arm
Power
thing.
glove, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's fine. But no, it was still an overall really good show and a good episode, even with that nitpick.
Definitely.
So, yeah,
I
9 out
agree.
of 10.
Definitely.
She got tranced. Yeah, she was in a trance.
Yeah. So the other thing, did you have something to say, Chris?
No, that's all good.
All right, so now we're going to talk about our next show, and then I have one more topic before we wrap real quick between me and Chris.
Yeah, we got...
Oh, Chris, did you watch A Night at the Seven Kingdom?
Yeah, all good. I'm caught up. Yeah.
You saw the next episode? Okay, so I guess I'm going to lead this one because I have a lot to say about this episode real quick, and then Kenny can join then Chris. So this is my favorite episode of the show so far, and I know they're going to keep getting better, but I like that if anyone who's seen regular Game of Thrones, this is the most Game of Thrones episode of a Game of Thrones spinoff that there's been, because we're finally getting to the part of Game of Thrones that I really like, which is we're building towards, we know episode 5 is going to be a big battle, because now episode 4's whole purpose is setting up that I like that at the end of episode 3, we set up that, we know when it comes to the Targaryens we know that when it comes to the Targaryens that you can't really fuck with them. If you mess up anyway, bad things are going to happen. There's going to be consequences. So even though this show is about being a noble knight and, honor and all those other great things, because he was a true knight, he was kind of put in prison for a little bit, and then he was pulled towards the Targaryens, and one of the Targaryen, I can't remember what his name is, but the blonde little moron is like, I think we need to do a trial by combat, but it's got to be a
what's his
trial
name?
of
It's like
7.
Yes, trial of 7 or something, innit? Yeah, that's like ancient 6,000 years old ancient rules.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all
he's like, you gotta get
he's an idiot. Like,
6 nights with you. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all idiots. Where he's like, it's like, why would you do that? Like, why we owe him at least a trial by combat. Why he's so scared to fight this nobody alone, and it's so crazy to me. Like, it's like he has to do this big thing where he needs a team. So then this whole episode becomes, okay, let's go. Each character has to first, Dunk's gonna go get his shield that was made for him and get his armor and all that other stuff he needs, and then he's got to come to terms with, does he know anybody in this town that will the trial of Gooners?
All right, blocked again.
Blocked, yeah. But he's like, are we actually gonna who's actually gonna have my back? And at one point he thinks this one guy that he kind of was like not really friends with, but thought they kind of had something in common, are gonna team up, and then this guy Loki stabs him in the back and goes, yo, I'm fighting for the other guys. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
Which is very Game of Thrones. If you guys have watched it,
honestly, it is very Game of Thrones.
Very Game of Thrones.
Every character has their own self-interest.
I think the best thing about this episode, and I have an announcement in regards to this episode, considering they're both on Max. I wanted to mention about this. One of my favorite characters in this series so far is when they introduce the Targaryens. I love the guy that's kind of respected Dunk, and they're kind of he's trying to talk to him about, this is how we do things and whatever. And in the trial, he didn't really think he's gonna have his back. And then when he did his whole speech, Dunk's speech was really good about trying to get them to
how a true knight should be. Yeah.
Yep. And then they all kind of laugh in his face. Then he shows up and he's like, no, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight with this guy because this is a noble knight. And what's crazy about that is when you watch the father of the blonde king, right?
He's like you're fighting against your nephew.
Yeah, he's all upset. Dude, I think those two and the other guy, I think they're going to throw down hard in this next episode. And this next episode is going to be traditional Game of Thrones in the sense that people are going to die. There's going to be some serious deaths. And I can't wait for it. I'm excited about this episode leading up to a big battle. Is beautiful. And I love that character. And speaking of that character, in terms of HBO Max stuff, it was announced this week that the guy that played that character, I cannot remember what his name is, but the Targaryen guy, is also going to be the Ministry of Magic in the new Harry Potter show.
Okay, that's cool.
He was confirmed this week.
I think he would fit. I think he would fit. Yeah.
Nothing but a hedge knight.
Not but a hedge knight. Yeah.
So I think he's really cool. I love this episode. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think from what I'm getting from now that I've seen episodes, I never expected the Squire to be a part of the Targaryen house.
That was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool. I was gonna bring that up too.
Egg is Aegon.
You know what I'm saying? That was
I love that.
crazy.
I love that. That was a good twist.
Aegon was like good. That was a really good twist. Like I think it got graphic when he his brother broke the finger of that girl, and then obviously now that's the one thing I like about Dunk. He is so all he wants to do is be a true knight, but then the problem is that he's facing all these issues. These knights are like this, that is
right,
this,
like cheaters,
that everyone's different. No one's the same. You know what I mean? He's looking at it no, I was raised to be noble. I thought a knight is supposed to protect and serve the people, not supposed to hurt them. Why would you do this type of thing? And I wanted him to, I wanted him to kick him in the face again to his brother because that was funny.
100%. 100%. I agree with that. I think that's great. I love that.
Yeah, no, it definitely the ending, with the whole speech, and then he comes in being like, "No, I'll fight for you. I'll be on your side." And then it cuts to black, and I'm like, "I want more." And it's like
I love the guy. Also, the guy that because he has to walk away to go talk to the other people about the whole thing. I love the guy. That's been the biggest comedy pieces of the episodes. That's always getting drunk with Dunk in the previous episodes.
He's funny. He's
Knight's the cousin. That's meant to be the other guy's squire. I think that's great. I loved it. I can't wait. Can't wait for episode 5. The thing that sucks is though because they put this episode out earlier for the Super Bowl, It sucks. We gotta wait till Sunday, man. I don't want to.
Yeah, till
I want
Sunday.
it now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want it now. I
yeah,
can't. It's too good. Like the fact this is gonna be like, because I love this show because it's been really good build up. But like, I think the thing that makes me want this episode more is that we're gonna finally get what Game of Thrones is known for, which is these
yeah.
big battles. And whenever there's a big battle episode, I want it now. Like, I want to see it. Like, let me know. But yeah, but like honestly, like, yeah, I love this episode. It's sitting at a 9.7 out of 10 on IMDb right now, which is
Wow.
said to be one of the highest Game of Thrones episodes in a long time. So yeah, pretty dope. Can't
I
wait
know, it
for
just
episode
has
5.
overall good quality. Like, it's such a good
Mhm.
show, and especially the actors that they picked for Dunk and Egg, they have such a good
Yeah,
chemistry.
such good
I think all
chemistry.
the
Yeah,
actors in this
Mhm.
show are great.
all the
I
actors
think
are doing
I
their
think
thing.
they're
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
fantastic.
all the actors are great for sure, but the main
Mm,
characters, Egg and Dunk, they
mm.
gotta
Oh,
hold up.
that's the heart of it. They really got the heart right.
Hmm.
So if we unless we have final things, I do have one final quick topic before we get going.
Okay.
Which is that I wanted to talk to Chris about the One Piece
Mm.
trailer. So
Yeah,
so
One
guys, we
Piece.
got the official One Piece. Not just these teasers we've been getting. We got an official trailer that kind of tells the story of what's going to happen. Where One Piece season 2 is called. I think it's One Piece Enter the Grand Line. Because at the end of season 1, we're headed on this quest to go after the
Yeah,
One Piece, and now we entered into the Grand Line, and we've gotten little snippets of things over the last couple months because this thing drops in March. But Netflix has a thing where they like to release their full trailers like
mm.
a month before the show officially drops its new season. And so this was a full trailer. Like, we saw more of the assassins, we saw their
Yeah,
personalities, we saw what they're going to be like. Casting is on point. We finally got to know. We see Chopper because we got little hints. We got to hear
yeah,
Chopper's voice, which I think is awesome, and it looks great. The effects on Chopper look good. Um, and Zoro is back with his aura, man. Zoro's doing
yeah. Zora.
sword
Yeah,
twirls,
yeah, yeah,
fighting the assassins. Sanjay's got some drip going on. Captain Usopp looks good. The set pieces look good. I love that
mm.
we're traveling. In season 1, we were in a lot of different places, but we were kind of in
Yeah.
one
But it
area at the
wasn't
same
the
time.
same area. Yeah. Now we're
Yeah.
actually
I
traveling.
like that season 2 is going to kind of really show us traveling to these different places
Mm,
on the Grand Line. Like,
mm.
there's a snowy environment, and they spent so much money on the outfits. Like, the outfit changes for the characters.
Mm.
Like, they're not wearing the normal getup. Like, sometimes Luffy's always got his straw hat, but some scenes they're wearing different outfits, whether they're going to frozen environments or other environments. There's great. It looks like this season's gonna have a lot of humor, a
Yeah.
lot of emotion, a lot of action. It's gonna be the best of both worlds and everything. And I just, as a fan of the anime, fan of the manga, and fan of the first season, I'm one of the people that I think the first season of One Piece is probably top tier live action anime. Like, I don't think there's been anything out there that has happened.
Yeah.
Like
That's much.
I
Yeah.
think so. So I really, even I know Ken's not a big One Piece fan, but like
Yeah.
me and Chris, we really like One Piece, and I hope you watch more of season 1, Chris, when you get the
Yeah,
chance.
I'm gonna watch.
Before
I'm gonna
season
because I
2.
watched the first. I watched the first episode of season 1, and I did like it, but I just haven't gone back to because obviously I
I
had other
want to
stuff going
rewatch
on.
it because
But
I love season 1 so much. I think the acting that the people they cast is spot on. I think they've done such a great job. I think they did a great job with the casting of Luffy in particular. And I
yeah,
think that he carries the show a lot. And I think each of the other characters are really interesting. The arcs they give them, yeah, really good storytelling, and they do such a good job. They cut for a big anime. They covered so much in season 1,
yeah,
and
they
now we're
did.
gonna
They
get
covered a
even more
lot.
in season
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
And so it's gonna
That's
be
the thing
brilliant.
because I feel like for me as well, like I'm already quite deep in the anime. Like I started One Piece literally when it first came out years ago, but obviously I haven't watched it since like 2011. So I just picked it up back last year. So I've been kind of just watching it from like episode 480 plus. And yeah, so like I've been picking it up back there, and I'm just like, yeah, this is just as good as
For
I remember
sure.
it because
For sure.
the anime itself is like there's not much fillers. So
Yeah.
if anybody, I do see some people not liking the live action show. If you don't like that live action show, just watch the anime or something or read the manga
Yeah.
because I do feel
But we
like
get the
it
live action
gets,
show so we don't have to deal with that. Some of us that don't want to spend our lifetime watching the
yeah,
anime
yeah, like
when we
I
have a
understand
lack
that.
of time.
I
So
understand
I'm
that.
glad we get the live action. I love the live action. My one, not gripe, but one intrigue that I'm kind of curious that they didn't show in this trailer because it isn't an official trailer. They
Yeah,
made such a big deal of we see the assassins in this trailer, but they made such a big deal about Crocodile being played by Joe Manganiello in the casting process. Where the hell
yeah,
is he in the marketing? He's been like missing. So they must be like saving him for something big. Like maybe they don't
Yeah,
want him in
probably
any
like a
trailers.
surprise or something. So
Yeah, maybe they want us to wait till the show because they're like, oh, you need to see him in his purest form when the show drops.
yeah, you need to see what he's. Yeah, I think that's fair.
But I can't wait for it. I mean, it looks great.
It's looking
got
good.
all
Though.
the things It's got all the things I love about season 1, but it also looks even better. And I can't wait. It comes out March 10th. Kind of watched the whole anime already. She will deny it to Humble, but she's a good answer. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I've totally seen One Piece, and I'm such a big fan of it. Yeah,
Name 5 characters,
yeah.
Kenna. Name 5 characters.
All right, ready? One Piece 1,
Yep.
One Piece 2, One Piece 3, One Piece 4, One Piece 5.
Oh my
wrong.
gosh.
What do you mean? That's all of them.
Those are not character names. You're
They
just
are.
naming like numbers.
You don't know them because you haven't actually got that far into One Piece, guys. So you don't know One Piece.
I know
5.
so much about One
Yeah,
Piece.
fair
I've been
enough.
spending my
Come
time
on.
with One Piece. I have a
I've
One
watched
Piece
that enough of
fan
anime,
room.
so-
Don't
You
lie.
know.
Don't lie now. No, I know. What's his name? Luffy. That's about it.
That's it? You
Oh,
just
and
know
what's
Luffy?
the character? What's the character that Joe you like? Sand something.
Sanche.
Sanche. That's all I got. Oh, and Chopper.
Yeah, there's more than that.
Fair
What
enough.
Our
better?
resident One Piece fan. Yep.
What
So
better
true.
live action or anime? They're both real. So it's two different types of things, AJ.
Yeah.
So live action this is just a different, as we talk about, adaptations don't copy and paste, but this is as close as you can get
Yeah.
to the anime to a degree where it's still different for people that have never seen the anime, but it is very close to what the anime was, especially
So
in
anime
season
should
1.
be. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think for anybody that's like, if you're somebody
That's
that
Sanjay. Power
prefers,
Ranger family, come on.
I
don't know how to put it.
I'm more of a fan of Power Rangers than I am of.
Well,
Yeah,
so
yeah, okay, fair
they're
enough,
both
then.
good, AJ. You can watch one without the other, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do think
yeah.
that you should at least read the manga or watch a couple
Yeah,
episodes
some of
of
the One
anime to
Piece
really
manga,
understand what's going on.
especially in the early stages, One Piece manga is like really good.
Yeah,
Honestly,
but I do
really
think
good.
that the live action, if you ever dreamed of seeing live action anime done justice, I think this is
I would say watch
hopefully
One Piece for sure, 100%.
hopefully this is the beginning of getting more live action anime done
But,
right.
yeah, I hope so.
Like, I have a lot of
yeah.
hopes for the guy that's doing Spider-Man and did Shang-Chi, supposedly doing a Naruto movie. I have a lot of hope for that because of the fact that I think that the people working on it know what they're doing, and hopefully
They know what they're doing,
hopefully they use One Piece as a blueprint for that and go, okay, I know this is a movie and not a show, but let's hope that the movie is done well, because just like One Piece, Naruto is a beloved anime, so we want to make sure that those fans are. I hope it's more like One Piece than it is like Dragon Ball Evolution. So
No, 100%.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
but yeah, but overall, I think this is gonna close out our podcast, guys. But
Yeah, guys.
But yeah, so One Piece looks really good. I'll be making more videos today, and Chris will be doing something for the showcase tomorrow. Oh, of course, AJ, no worries. But so I'm gonna go to the movies in a little bit, and then I'll probably be home doing videos and doing more streams for you guys, so you can look forward to more stuff on my channel. I'm on my way to go see Send Help, which I've been hearing a lot of great things about. I'm a big Sam Raimi fan, so it's been on my list for a while. And
yeah, I'll definitely see that at the end of the month or something.
So I'll give you guys my thoughts when I get back tonight, so you guys can hear all that, and we'll talk about it on the podcast next week. I'll give you my. If you guys don't watch my video review, you guys can definitely watch my full thoughts next week. But great episode of Legions, guys.
Right, it was episode 49. Thanks for everyone
49,
for coming.
Next week is 50.
Yeah,
guys,
next week is 50.
the...
Same time, same place.
Yeah,
check out
next
Captain Multiverse and Chris the Fourth. That is gonna be a wrap.
All right.
Goodbye,
follow me
everyone.
on Instagram. Bye. See you.
That